Hello, hi, and welcome to Idle Champions Presents Court of the Raven Queen, episode Atharice. For those of you that know me, I pride myself on trying to get a giggle out of the cast at the very last second before we go live, and I'd like the record to show I was outplayed by Lauren. I was outplayed. I was like, ha, and she's like, ha. I'm like, what? Yeah, right. So
I learned from the master.
I learned it from you.
True. Learned it from watching you. Another thing that I will share with you, dear friends, is every week they remind me that we don't have to do a full introduction at the top of the show. And every week I agree, and every week I do it anyway. So this time I'm not gonna. But if you don't know who these beautiful people are, we talked about it here in the moments leading up to this, and we're gonna talk about it again at the break. They're all objectively beautiful and talented. Another thing I want to say is thanks to you and your generosity, the Idle Champions community helped raise $20,000 for the International Rescue Committee in support of refugees now displaced by the war in Ukraine. So thank you all so much. That is literally a life-changing difference that you all made, and I hope you feel good about that. And honestly, if you couldn't participate, because there's been plenty of times in my life that I didn't have an extra couple dollars to throw at something, that's okay too. Just do what you can to signal boost things that you seem passionate about, help spread the word about things. That all counts too. As always, I give you the respect reminder here for our players here. Thank you all, before I dive all the way into this, to the Idle Champions community for voting. As always, I'm not going to tell you what you voted on. If you know, that's cool. Don't spoil it in chat. It'll come up over the course of the story because, the votes were public. But if you don't know, don't spoil it for anybody. We also acknowledge that the stakes are high in no small part to those votes and the things that you all have set in motion. And I would just like to say thank you very much, because every time you make their lives harder, you make mine easier. But also remember to respect the cast, avoid backseating. As I say every time, every armchair quarterback has 100% pass completion. They'd have hit every single one that Tom Brady missed. Because it's easy when you're just sitting by watching. It is much harder when you're actually doing it. And quite frankly, there might be story reasons or plot reasons why they take one action and not another. So just sit back and enjoy the show. Today's chest code is ICP Episode 3 code, which again, as the spell verbal component, is IP3 Episode 3 Code Day for a reward for 2 gold chests there. That will expire on March 14th. We are giving away an Idle Champions Dice Vault with the Iris D6, which is lovely. Of course, you want your Iris D6s. They always roll the best for you, darling. That is in the US and Canada only, excluding Quebec. Again, Quebec, you know what you did. But the Shadowfell Brimstone Angels DLC pack is available internationally. So we will announce the winners for both of those things at the end. Thank you to our moderators, Martin J. and Shreevor himself, out here doing the Lord's work as we're on front page. Hi, front page. And with that, let us dive back into our story. Our heroes found themselves waking up in the Shadowfell with no recollection of how they got here. You all have some vague memories of the fact that you were here looking for someone, that Havilar is missing, but there is a big chunk of your memory missing between what happened in the world before. Some of you don't remember much past the battle with Tiamat until the moment that you woke up in the Shadowfell. You've since learned that strange magics are afoot here that are affecting the actual weave of the Shadowfell itself. The plane of existence is fighting back against something, up to and including you. You all have encountered multiple storms and other natural phenomenons that were essentially the Shadowfell's immune system trying to expel you foreign invaders. You had a brief audience with Vecna himself, who was attracted to the resonance of the Wand of Orcus. Later, you were actually attacked by some servants of Vecna that wanted to deliver the wand to him. You were exposed to duplicates of people you know, of Freely, of Baloth's Rakshasa, which actually were a ploy to lure Baloth and ultimately all of you away so that you could be eaten, which you all managed to circumvent. which led you to a battlefield with a tower that was being beset by horrifying creatures of teeth and spikes and terror. You all jumped in to help a beleaguered detachment of Shadowkai that were bravely fighting, that were joined by a tall, pale Death Knight who joined the fray as well, and through your combined might were able to rout the Shadowsworn and destroy them, or at least scatter them. As we come back in now, Delatoth, a towering Death Knight in gleaming black armor, walks over and takes her helmet off, revealing her pale face underneath. She's human, unlike these other Shadowkai, and she looks at you and says, "Well, I suppose I owe you my thanks, strangers."
Please think nothing of it. We're only too glad to help.
I mean,
Who are you?
Yeah, actually. I mean, that kind of sounds a little sarcastic when he says it that way, but we did just want to help.
No, I was in earnest. I have a speech impediment where things sound sarcastic.
You see, she sort of narrows her eyes and very much looks at your half-skull face, Baloth, but doesn't say anything. And she says, "You all are clearly not natives to this land. How did you come to be in the Shadowfell?"
Funny story. We don't quite recall the finer details of our journey here.
We're looking for someone.
She looks at you and she's like, "Who?"
I don't know that we've established we ought to be telling people.
It's up to you whether you tell her or you don't. Yeah.
It's her sister. Her sister.
Yeah. I guess walking around with the person's face on my face makes it a little harder to lie about it. And then also, Frida walked into this furious, so she's going to look Delatoth right back and be like, "We're looking for my sister."
Delatoth just sort of like nods slowly, and she says, "Well, if anyone is missing, you should petition my lady, the Raven Queen. She would know."
That's where we're headed. That's where we were headed, and then we saw what was going on and stopped to help.
She turns and looks off in the distance where you can see the Fortress of Memories. And she looks back and says, "Well, that is good. You also need to gain my lady's favor and permission to be in the Shadowfell, lest you be marked an invader and an enemy. Although..."
Perish the thought. We are anything but, I am sure, the mighty and beauteous, wise Raven Queen will see that we are allies of a sort. This is all a misunderstanding.
See, she turns and looks at you, Desmond, and looks at you, Shaka. And you see, again, she kind of takes a step closer to you, Shaka. And she says, "You stink of undeath. I assume your will is still your own."
I'm in control of, believe I'm in control of my destiny. But the Raven Queen does have something of mine.
You see, she nods, and you see the closest thing to a smile come across her face. And she says, "You, I think I understand the most. There have been roving packs of undead unleashed all over the plane recently. It has been quite unusual, as is the rampant uptick in these Shadowsworn things."
Can you help us get to the Raven Queen?
I can. I see her hand on you. And you, Baloth, she points at you. You've seen her too.
Oh, yes, close personal friends. She is very generous, if I may say so.
You see, she just sort of cocks an eyebrow and she goes, "Huh. I need some time to shore up the tower to make sure that it will remain resolute while we are gone. You all can rest inside, and then we will depart as soon as the repairs are made. By chance, Did any of you lose a large blue companion? And she holds a hand like about a head high over her own.
Oh, large fellow with a goatee. His lower half just sort of trails off into mist.
No.
Oh.
She had a bare chest, literally a bear
You gotta be joking.
on her chest.
You know
Is
this
this-
person?
Of course. Sounds like Tatiana.
Oh,
What do you know of Tatiana?
you see her face drops and she says, "Then I fear your companion is not long for this world. She fought valiantly but was overtaken by the Shadowsworn. We've had last rites delivered. Her death is imminent."
Where?
You see she just steps back and points towards the tower, which again, this whole battle took place at the base of a tower. She's like, "You can see for yourself."
Friend of yours, Desmond?
Yep, I'm going in.
I'll follow.
And Desmond walks towards
Yeah.
the door like immediately, like no
Yeah,
questions
well,
asked.
We'll
You
support.
You see the Shadarkai kind of like tense slightly when you come, but when they realize you're not coming to attack them, they kind of get out of the way. And you do see some nods. They recognize without your intervention, they would have been overrun. The tower, when you look inside, it is the bare minimum of a guard tower. It is high, thick stones. There are just bedrolls sort of unfurled intermittently. There is a spiral staircase that goes all the way up to various murder holes to be able to shoot arrows in all directions, with a very heavy wooden door. And in the middle of the floor, you all do see a very tall, very muscular Éarte. She has blue skin and she is covered in wounds. She looks very badly injured and she is unconscious.
Uh-oh. Is there a healer in the
Kira?
house?
Yeah. Desmond, is there anything I should know? And I'm walking over to start examining and see what I can do.
She's an air genasi. She can turn into a bear when she wants. She will probably want to fight when she wakes up.
Yeah,
I've got the snack that she needs to
Yeah.
to be
Yeah,
good. And then he just like grabs one of his pocket biscuits and is like, "I'm ready with this" when she wakes up.
Maybe we should back up so that you're the only one that she sees.
That is a
Yeah.
great idea. I would highly recommend it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So, a bloodthirsty sort, is she? Enjoys battle?
I feel like that is an understatement. She lives for
Oh.
battle.
I look forward to meeting her. I'll just be over here.
But
You have to let her feel better before you start trying to recruit her.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
of course. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm going to recruit an invalid for the Black Pit. She has to be in fighting shape.
No contracts on people's deathbeds. That is not okay.
That is usually the best time, but all right.
what do my trained healer eyes see and what can I do to help?
Give me a medicine check.
Okay.
I'll give you advantage. You do this. This is your thing.
Okay. Then that is a 32.
Again, anything over 30 is divine success. To phrase it in a different sort of language, you realize she's in death saves, and she's slipping away.
All right. I will immediately pump a 6th level cure wounds into her. I'm just gonna start healing because I don't know how bad everything is. So I'm just gonna do that.
As you lay your glowing hands on her, you see the wounds start to close and her eyes snap awake.
You have, and out of play, you have 35 hit points. And Orkira, still hand on your head and kind of a hand on your arm, and sees you waking up, and she's very used to people waking up in fights, and she's gonna go, "I'm healing you. I'd rather you wouldn't punch me."
Tatiana, as your eyes snap awake, you see two things: a familiar face and an unfamiliar face. You see Desmond, and you see this gold dragonborn with her hands on you, saying, "I'm healing you, don't fight."
As I start awake, I just punch the air and then turn, see a dragonborn, turn, see Desmond. Desmond,
Yeah,
my friend.
agreed.
And I give him a handshake high five.
And he takes it and just like, why does it not surprise me that if anybody's in here on the ground from fighting, I'd imagine an army, it's you.
We've heard what Desmond looks like in the Shadowfell. What does Tatiana look like in the Shadowfell?
She looks like Tatiana, but more Shadowfell-y. Somehow her armor has turned from a mottled brown to black. And she wears a black veil over her silver pale long hair full of braids. Her skin is still blue, but somehow the scars and scratches feel more pronounced here. Like there's something about the lighting that just catches them all. And she's still a super badass with muscles upon muscles upon muscles. That bear tattoo on her chest, it's even more rippling. I don't know how.
Tatiana, the last thing you remember, you were hunting with Desmond in Barovia. You two got separated and you heard the sounds of a battle. You went to investigate and you saw these terrible monsters, these inhuman things attacking this group of elves that were about to be overwhelmed, and you jumped in as you do, and then now it's now.
I have a few questions. Desmond, you abandoned me.
I didn't abandon anything. I went over to a cave to investigate what's inside of it and woke up here. That's not an abandoning. That's some sort of magical teleportation that I had no control over.
Right. Understood. And here is?
I don't really know.
Okay.
I just know it's the Shadowfell. This is the best I've got.
Dragonborn friendly?
Yes. That's Orkira.
Nice to meet you.
Tatiana.
Hi, nice to meet you. Sorry about all the wounds. I can help a little bit more, but
You should see the monsters.
Oh, I'm sure. It sounds like you were pretty awesome.
Their faces were taken off of their bodies. Just their faces.
When you
Very
said their
sad.
faces, I imagined that they don't have them anymore. I expected that there would be no more faces. Also,
You
this is
know
for
me
you.
so well.
And he hands her like a larger piece of pocket brisket. Because she's an
You
Erin
know me so well. She devours this instantly. I was hungry. That's why we were hunting. You remember, you were there until you weren't there. Yeah.
Tatiana, you do see a face you recognize, or at least you would have. You, of course, having grown up as a pit fighter, heard the legend of Baloth Baradil and getting to the storied Black Pits. So you recognize the drow immediately, except half his face is gone. It's just a skull.
I stumble
Hello.
to my feet and rush over to him. There's a moment of hesitation where you might think his face might be removed in short order, and then Tatiana immediately drops to one knee and crosses an arm across her chest, bowing her head.
You're a fan. This works out perfectly. My dear Tatiana, was it?
Yes, and I am the biggest fan.
Well, you certainly are big. In terms of strength and might, that's what I mean. You clearly have the bearing of a mighty warrior. And it seems that you've already heard of my business enterprise, the Black Pits, the most preeminent gladiatorial endeavor in Faerun, at least in the Underdark.
I've never had the honor to fight in them, but if I had, everyone would be so faceless. So completely faceless.
Oh, the crowd loves it when they tear off a face. We are going to have to talk further once we get out of our present environs. I'm sure
I
that
don't pit fight anymore. But if I did, I would be the best.
Oh, well, one wouldn't think that you'd be brought in as some sort of lowly opener. I'm talking headlining.
I lean over to Desmond.
I didn't know she was a groupie of Baloths. Is there anything else we should know?
She grew up in the pits, so it's not a surprise that she knows who Baloth is. That's what she did. And then Desmond kind of leans over to Tatiana and just like, he's going to try to steal you for the pits, and he will offer you whatever he can. I think we should probably figure out how we got here before we, get into the pits.
Desmond, you're completely correct. Where are my manners? Let's deal with our present business, and then we can talk about fame and fortune later.
I don't need fame or fortune. I am perfect as I am. But wait, so we're no longer in the mist, Desmond. We're free. We're home. We're back home, Desmond.
This is not home. This is a completely different place. Everything doesn't want to kill us like it did in the mists, but there's an improvement, but not home improvement. Also, you know what happened to home.
That's right.
Yeah.
I keep rewriting what we've seen in my head. And also Valentine isn't here, so this is a bad place.
Well, I don't know where you are from, but this is Frida and this is Shaka, and while we don't remember how we got here, we're here to help them, and afterwards I can try to help you get home or somewhere where you want to be.
And Desmond?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I can get you there, but I can usually plane shift. Just when I tried to get us here, there were a couple of problems.
Well, I'm sure
out is easier than getting in.
I'm sure if we pool our resources, what between your skills, Orkira, and those of my faithful friend Najim, I'm sure we could get you back to where was it you said you're originally from?
Should I tell you this?
Oh, please. You are, of course, free to keep that information to yourself, but the word of my fame has reached your ears wherever you are. Of course, I travel the plains quite a bit. I'm just wondering which one you hail from.
Desmond. Did you tell him where you're from?
No.
I mean, we only
I don't
just
think we
met
ever got to the
Desmond
question of
matters.
where we were from.
we only just met a couple of hours ago, and it's been a very busy couple of hours, so we haven't.
Oh,
I mean, we shared snacks. That was pretty much all I needed.
Yes,
have you ever heard of a marshmallow? She gave me one, and it was one of the sweetest things I've ever tasted. It was amazing.
I reach into my pocket and I immediately pull out one of the bag with the marshmallows and I go,
Oh, you want one?
What?
Yeah.
Is this?
You gotta try it. Trust me.
This is not food.
Eat it.
This is what
It's a snack.
birds produce.
I hope not. I've been eating these for years. No, it's sugar. Just give it a try.
Tatiana,
is the flesh?
If we were at the carnival, this would be something that if we were to hand to Hildy, she would have the most amazing time. If Hildy would love it, you should try it.
She pops the entire thing in her mouth and
It's
swallows without chewing.
It's sugary heaven, Tatiana. Sugary heaven.
You are okay in my book.
Farida and Shaka. Sorry, Tatiana. Farida and Shaka, give me perception checks.
Yes. Nat 20.
Oh.
Yes.
Farida, you don't notice, but Shaka, you catch out of the corner of your eye something very small, about 1.5 feet high, running away with Farida's book. You hear the pitter-patter of tiny little feet.
Okay. How far away are they?
10 feet away. I mean, because you were all kind of standing
Okay.
right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would like to say wait, and then I still have some slots. Misty step in front of this thing, in front of this thingamabob.
You all watch Shaka vanishes and reappears a few feet away. You see a thing with a head roughly the size of a man, but a body maybe the size of a baby's. It's got yellow eyes and long pointy ears and a large protracted jaw and very long arms with very long legs and a tiny little body. And it looks up at you and it just says, "Hey, you want to get out of the way? I'm working here, buddy."
What do you think you're doing? Give it
Stealing.
back.
No.
My book back?
What? Ow. Now she sees me. Come on. You messed it all up.
I'm gonna reach for
Tatiana.
the book.
At this moment, you realize all your stuff is gone. Your swords are gone. Anything that was on your person is not there, Tatiana.
Desmond, you have my stuff, right?
You had
Tell
your
me,
stuff.
tell me you have my stuff. Where's my stuff?
You had your stuff. We both had our own stuff. Hunting. That's how we worked.
How
Question.
does it work now?
I imagine whatever that little thing is, and whoever he's with, they probably have your stuff. So we should probably go get it.
Catch him!
Shaka, give me an athletics check.
Yes, I shall. 14.
Shaka, when you reach out to grab it, oil, literally like a thick viscous oil, just starts coming out of it, and it just slips out of your fingers, and it goes and takes off running up the stairs.
I'm
You
gonna
all
cast
see
magic
this.
missile. I just go, okay, kid
I was
with
gonna-
man head. That's far enough.
Go ahead and roll your damage, Balor.
All right. So I'll be casting at second level.
Okay.
So that will be 3 plus 4, 7, 11. Ooh, and 15 total.
You, of course, magic missile does not miss. So as this thing is running, the beams unerringly just and it falls on the steps. And come on, man!
Don't move.
Does it seem like an over-exaggeration?
There's more where that came from, fella. Just stay where you are.
I'm gonna race
From-
up there and grab my book.
Absolutely.
very slippery. Be careful.
Well, actually, give me an athletics check, Farida.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I rolled a natural 20.
Hey, you are properly motivated by your book, Farida. And yes, there is very slippery oil all over the steps now, but you are able to navigate it and pick it up. And up overhead, you all see several pairs of eyes open, and you hear, "Boo! Party poopers! Boo!"
Where's the
Farida,
rest of the stuff? Where's
Farida-
the Air Genasi stuff? Sorry.
When you're getting this close to this thing, I mean, it's hurt. I mean, it's got
Uh-huh.
like 4 pronounced burns all over its tiny little back, and it is still breathing, but it is just like struggling to stand up. Yeah, it's like we just take stuff. We don't hurt anybody. Gosh,
Give it back.
and it rolls over, and it's just like, I mean. Okay, hear me out though. What if we don't
Give
want
it
to?
back, or I drop a bunch of Eldritch blasts on you. Can I roll my intimidation check?
You absolutely can.
Ugh, it's only a 12. My amazing bonus fails me.
Baloth is going to back her up and just go, I've got plenty more where that came from, friends. So unless you all want to be sleeping with the fishes, keep in mind that you might not hurt people, but I certainly do.
You can roll. Yeah, go ahead and roll it, Baloth. You hear from higher up in the tower, one of their voices is, "You're really hot when you're scary." Okay.
He's out of line, but he's not wrong.
That was
Yeah.
a total of 21 on Baloth's intimidation.
You hear, okay. Wait. Keep your shirt on. All of you can give me nature checks.
Can I do something else instead of that?
Yes.
When I get up, I'd like to back up Farida and Baloth and just cast Zone of Truth on this creature.
Okay, what's your save DC?
It's a Charisma 22 save.
Yeah,
And I know whether it succeeded or failed.
It does not succeed.
Yeah, so I just walk up and I touch the ground next to it, and a little burning sigil appears on the floor, and I say,
Well, now at least we know that he's not gonna lie to us.
I mean, well, that's a terrible state of affairs.
Yeah, listen, I've had to deal with terrible people.
What did you get for the nature checks?
1.
7.
Yes.
5.
3.
9.
Oh no! Oh no!
These are horrific nightmare creatures that should not be, Desmond.
Gotta die.
Whoa!
You're a nightmare and you should not exist.
Now we're talking. Shall we make them not exist?
Can we?
Well, let's ask him some questions first.
All right.
Yeah, let's find out where Tatiana, you said your name was?
Yes, and I think I have there's something in me that wasn't there before. And I cast Dominate Beast on it.
What is your save?
Wisdom 16.
It does not make it. It just turns and looks at you, Tatiana, and it's like, yes, what would you ask of me?
Oh.
Answer everyone's questions.
I will answer any and all questions. And up higher in the tower, you hear, no! Snitches get stitches!
Can I see the guy who said snitches get stitches?
Give me perception. Well, you do see like pairs of eyes. They have yellow eyes, so you see like four pairs of eyes.
So
kind of
if I wanted to
intermittently higher
fire
up.
a magic missile, I could just aim between those eyes. It would hit.
You would definitely. I mean, magic missile doesn't miss, so yeah, you
Okay,
very much
all right.
could.
So so when he says snitches get stitches, he just gets it between the eyes. So that is 5, and it's just at first level. It's only at first level this time,
Okay.
but I'm rolling
Oh,
really
okay.
well. So
Right.
5, 10, 13 points of damage.
You sing, ouch! And the
Yeah.
other two like duck down.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to snitch to avoid the stitches, friends.
Hey, Snitch,
Also,
go
people-
grab your friends and grab them back here.
Okay, I'll do that, but I'm hurt pretty bad. But I'll do whatever you command. And you actually see right where it is, a little beam of light appears, like almost like a vortex, and it just vanishes. And you hear up higher up. And hang on, you hear quite a commotion break out actually upstairs. You're like, boom, bang, bang. Okay, Master, how should I address you? You who I serve?
Majesty?
Majesty, your majesty. I've got good news and bad news. Good news is I got them. The bad news is they've got me too.
I think that's fine for now.
Okay.
Are you all gonna go up the stairs?
I guess we should go up the stairs.
They're nightmare
Yeah.
creatures that shouldn't exist. Desmond was already walking the second he said, they got me too. So Desmond was on the move.
Tatiana falls
You
behind
really
Desmond
have
and is
to
like,
die.
did you see what I did? I've never done that before. It feels good.
Guys, you know, I found I've got some stuff that I didn't know that I could do here as well. Are you walking with me though? Like I these things shouldn't exist. They gotta go.
Okay.
All of you can give me acrobatics with advantage because Farida has navigated the slippery steps and can at least point out, kind of be careful right there. Or Kira, you can fly, so you don't have to roll it at all, really.
I would like to, just hop, skip, and fly over anything, but I'll look over at Tatiana and say,
Listen, you're super awesome. I totally agree. I'm making an assumption that you
I'm
had
awesome.
I mean, yeah. Well, you look awesome, and you're friends with Desmond. I'm assuming you had your stuff when you were teleported here and were battling all the Sorrowsworn, right?
Hey, DM.
You
I had
remember?
my stuff then?
Yeah, you had your swords when you were fighting. Otherwise, you wouldn't have made it quite a ways. So yes.
Okay.
I did.
I
of
appreciate that
course.
clarification because I definitely right now believe Tatiana could rip their faces off with her hands. So
She can.
I believe
So does
that.
Tatiana.
I believe that too, but I just want to make sure we're going
Yeah.
after
No.
potentially the right creatures.
Right.
this was a good clarification. Thank you all.
Question: can Baloth still see any of them from where he is?
As you get a little closer, what you see is one you shot, although technically you've shot 2 of them. They both survived, but are very injured. When you get up closer, there's actually like a pile, The four of them are stuck together. They are all covered in an odd sticky substance, just basically all just like wrapped in battle. And there is a pile up in the rafters of Tatiana stuff, and you can see just random odds and ends, like a pot, one shoe, just a flint, not a flint and steel, the fletching from an arrow, only the salt, not the pepper, just random things they have.
I'll be taking my things back.
And Baloth is going to try intimidate again. He says, and in exchange for your life, we would like a tin can, an old boot, and a fish skeleton.
I mean, yeah, can do. I mean, what we don't have, we could take from somebody. Like, I mean, okay, first of all, hey, you know, I feel like you need to work on like your threat assessment skills, man, because like we're just here having a good time stealing stuff, which is objectively enjoyable, and then you start off with just like pow, 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 pow.
Well, we all have our hobbies, and mine is killing those who cross me.
How about
I respect
if we're gonna
that.
rest in this tower, you leave us alone. Don't take any more of our stuff, so we don't have to come back up here.
Follow-up question, what if we want to?
You still
Desmond
don't get to.
Heels right next to that one.
Yeah. Yeah, the four of them are basically like stuck together. Yeah.
Desmond kneels up and just like transforms just his hand into wolf form and just
Try and see what happens.
Ooh, a lycanthrope with a remarkable degree of control. Oh, bravo, sir, bravo.
We
Okay.
had a very stressful day.
Right? Okay. Apparently you guys don't know about Boggles and how we operate. That's okay. Yes, we promise not to steal anything from you today.
The next 3 days. Otherwise, I get a snack.
All right.
and right when he
won't-
says that, he pulls out with his other hand a piece of the brisket.
What do you think this is made out of?
Okay. We won't steal from you six for the next 3 days.
Thank you.
That's all of us. All right.
Yeah.
Seems like a fair deal.
Yes, Shaka.
Yeah. Also, since y'all are good at stealing, do you know any shortcuts or hideouts or any ways that we can get through this tower that maybe the average person would not know? Since it seems like you're able to get around here and take stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So here's the thing. I feel powerfully compelled to tell you the truth, which is weird, not my nature. But so we sort of like, again, we're Boggles. So we can sort of like jump around. We like teleport. Like if I don't want to be here, I can be over there, you know, because like normally you sneak in and like you grab something and every once in a while somebody's like, hey, don't take my thing. And you're like, but I want to. And then now I'm outside and they're screwed. So, but we were just doing that. We were doing our thing in the Feywild. We were hopping around and then like we were here in this weird, shadowy, terrible place. But then we found this tower, which was full of these like really like downer elves. Have you talked to them? Like they're also just like, but then we realized they have this kind of like
You said
unceasing
elves?
yeah, they're right over there.
What do I see over there?
There are Shadarkai. They are just a palish gray elves.
Down below the tower?
They are the ones that you would have fought to try and help, basically. They were the ones that were defending the tower, essentially right when you jumped in, although you wouldn't have really had an opportunity to interact because you sort of like dove in and then got overwhelmed. So yes, they're kind of outside right now.
So I peeked down, say, good. I protected them successfully. I knew I would.
Tatiana, I wonder, you're not interested in fame or fortune. Could it be that you're that most pure of warrior? The kind who does it for the love of the game, the thrill of battle?
Do you even need to ask? Do you see? That is the only reason to do it. Those others,
Yes.
that is why they lose.
Yes.
They don't
yes.
understand. The real glory is in the moments of battle itself. Nothing else matters.
Tatiana and Baloth, give me charisma saves.
Charisma saves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm pretty good at those.
Mm-hmm. Should be.
Okay.
5.
22.
Baloth, you are absolutely aware of the functioning of a zone of truth. Tatiana, you're not. So you are incapable of lying. To be clear, this does not mean you have to tell the truth. It is not a truth serum. You just cannot say something you know is false.
You also know it has been cast on you. Like, the Zone of Truth is the most truthful spell on the planet.
I am
It
the
is extra
best
truthy
warrior that I am the best. What's happening?
You're really good.
I'm a really good warrior.
Yes. And if I may be completely truthful here, that's the sort of warrior that goes all the way to the top in the Black Pits.
Oh my gosh,
I
Baldur.
think, have the makings of a champion. Yes.
I already am a champion.
Farida, charisma save, please.
I can promise you.
Let's go ahead and get him from
Battles like
Shaka and Desmond
28.
also. Let's just get it all in here. Charisma save. Yeah.
Do it.
All right, everybody, I cast this and then I forget it's a really big area.
Hey, that 20.
Hey!
25.
28.
Same thing. Everybody but Tatiana. You're like, no, I recognize this. Yeah.
Yep, Balor, he is being, from his perspective, completely honest. I can promise you glory of battle like you've never faced before. The Black Pits is the ultimate challenge that any warrior should be grateful to pit themselves against.
Hey, Bailoff, can we focus on one problem at a time? Like,
Oh,
find out.
Do you have a stealing championship?
Quiet, you.
Yeah, we've.
I will
sister
murder you.
And yeah, maybe the Boggle that really likes Tatiana and has to tell the truth can tell us a little bit more about finding your sister, Shaka finding what you're missing, Desmond figuring out how you can get back to where you're from.
Oh, is your sister in our pile of swag over there?
No.
Yeah, I don't know then.
Well,
How about the Death Knight?
we didn't even look.
Delatoth?
Oh, yeah, no, we steer clear of her. Oh, don't tell her that we're up here. She might just kill us all.
You haven't stolen anything from her?
What kind of question is that?
mean,
Yeah, we've stolen from her.
Yeah, exactly. I have faith in you. Anything interesting you found?
And it looks over towards the pile, and you do see a holy symbol of the Raven Queen. It looks like a pale, like a piece of obsidian that has been painted with a white face on it.
Okay. I want to grab it.
Wow, they must be really good because she didn't notice that was gone. Wow.
Well, I mean, if we're being objective, I was kind of unfair because she sort of was like trying to command her legions against like an overwhelming, horrible foe. So she kind of wasn't watching her six at the time. But I mean, we're kind of opportunists. That's why we robbed this magnificent creature while she was unconscious. Although we did not hurt you. We could have just finished you off, but we didn't. Come on, we're just buggles. Come on.
You lived today because you called me magnificent, and I agree with that statement.
And I'm incapable of lying.
Oh, even better. Wait, what? You're incapable of lying?
For 9 minutes and 12 more seconds.
We all are right now.
Yeah, you're in a spell called Zone of Truth. That's the thing I know now.
No one told me that was the thing. I did not know now.
That's okay. You understood on some level, I'm sure, but you didn't know for sure what was going on.
Yeah, the spell kind of lets you know. It's friendly that way. It kind of gives you the heads up, but you might not have understood what was going on. You can just walk over there and get out of it.
Oh. No, it's fine. This is a truth I should face. There might possibly be one warrior in the world who is better.
I know that was tough to say. I'm
many
sorry.
more.
I don't know you that well, but I feel like that was very hard for you to say.
I must warn you, I'm not that kind of cleric. And if we're gonna go down the psychological road, we should find another cleric for you.
You all hear Delatoth walk in, and she kind of looks around, and she's like, "Is everything well, travelers?"
And I just point at the Boggles.
Yeah, it's great.
When you point at them, they're like, She says, thieves, and just pulls her sword out. And she's like, bring them before me so I might dispatch the queen's justice.
He said rats! Oh, wait, I'm in a zone of truth. I didn't say that.
Well, you made the save. Yeah, you made the save. You can.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
He said rats!
You see the Boggles look at each other and they're like, well, we had a pretty good thing going here, but we're gonna take our chances with outside. Deuces! And all four of them, those beams of light appear around them and all four of them vanish.
Wait! I say to my one.
He
Is he
cannot
still under my
stop. The
control?
other three disappear and you see the light starts and it stops and he's like, Your Majesty.
This one is mine for now. No need to harm him.
He sort of stands up and goes, and like sticky oil shoots out over all of you.
Ugh. Never mind, you can go.
Okay, bye. And he disappears also.
It's gonna prestidigitate that crap away.
Delatoth says, that makes a lot of sense, actually. The soldiers were complaining about missing items. I didn't have time to investigate. And she sheaths the sword again.
Are you getting...
Go ahead, Orkira.
Are you getting a lot of visitors from not around here, not this plane? Because they were from the Feywild.
Yes, something has affected the very fabric of the Shadowfell. Strange creatures from all over the place are just appearing spontaneously, like something is waging war against us.
In any case, dear lady, it is a pleasure to return what I believe might be your possession.
And you see her eyes get, well, more accurately, I believe it was Shaka that picked up the holy symbol.
Yeah.
Are you going to give it back or no?
I was not planning on it.
Oh, if you don't, you don't.
Baylock
Okay,
is
right.
already...
Baylock, Big Mouth Baylock is
Hand
just
over the salt shaker.
Right.
So, yeah. I'm gonna keep it for now.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume that I've already squirreled it away somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
You all do sort of bring down the odds and ends, and then the Shadarkai kind of come inside, and Delatoth redistributes them, very much chastising them for not paying attention and letting themselves be robbed, and how a soldier's got to have eyes in the back of their head, completely unaware that she's been robbed too. And finally looks at you and she says, I can tell that you all have had a difficult time here so far. I give you my sworn word that you can rest safely, and we will set out when you awake.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We need it.
Your kindness is appreciated.
She looks at you, Tatiana, and she just sort of says, you fought most bravely, but recklessly. You couldn't have truly believed you could defeat all those enemies. Why did you assist us?
I will never become a better warrior if I don't try to fight those that I could not fight yesterday.
She just nods slowly and she says, perhaps there will come a time when our land is not under siege that you and I might spar.
The honor would be mine.
If the two of you would like to do that in some sort of formalized setting, I'm sure we could make arrangements.
I don't think so.
Delatoth looks at you, Bayloth, because she has no idea what you're talking about, and she's like, well, sleep, and then we will set out. And she turns and leaves. Do any of you do anything before you take your long rest?
I would like to sit down next to wherever Shaka is going to bunk down.
You better do it quick, because I am very quickly about to,
yeah. I
feel like we should also explain to Tatiana what we're doing, because Farida doesn't want anyone signing on to this and not being willing to do it. But we're heading for the Fortress of Memories because my sister and part of Shaka's memories were taken by the Raven Queen. Desmond's agreed to come with us. And
if we kill her, will your memories come back?
I don't think killing her is an option. We might have to do a lot of killing along the way to get to her, but when we get to her, that's probably a negotiation.
Yeah.
Okay, but if it turns into a killing, that would be preferable?
If we have to.
You
Please, folks, I think that we're getting a little hasty here. The Raven Queen is nothing if not generous.
I am not having this conversation with you again, Baloth.
Oh, right.
Okay,
right, of
let's
course, of
have a
course.
talk. Farida,
Yeah.
sorry your sister is missing. What does she look like?
Me. We're twins.
Oh,
And
I know what she looks like.
she honestly, you remind me so much of her. She's a fighter too.
Really?
I think you guys would, yeah.
But she's not
Sorry.
as strong as me. But close?
I think she would love to find out.
Well,
I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
I was already interested in helping you because you seem nice, but now I am doubly interested because I would love to spar with your sister. Now I have a list of 2 people to spar with. There's a Boggle that will do my bidding. I like it here, I think. I tasted a pure sugary treat.
Oh, did you want another?
Yes, please.
Tatiana,
This one I chew a little more.
Tatiana, you've now been many different places where in the mists, the just oppression of the place is crushing all the time, whereas in the Feywild, it was almost the opposite. It was almost intoxicating just being there. This place is somewhere between the mists and home. There is a weight, but it is almost like it feels more like there's something that's not being said versus just joy being ground out of you like it feels in Barovia.
This place is different than anywhere I've ever been before. It's mysterious, which is not my favorite thing. I like to say things exactly as they are. Faraday, are you from here? Farida.
No. No. I'm from Faerun.
Me too.
Oh.
Have you
What
heard
part?
of the fighting pits of Kashmar?
No. Where is that?
They're off the beaten path.
I'm familiar with that. I'm from a tiny village in Tamanther.
I would
Village
like to see
Dragonborn.
it. I'm sorry if anything's happened to it. Maybe here, you don't have the same past as I do. I look to Baloth to see if he was listening.
Yeah, actually, I was about to ask B-Dave, does the name Koshmar ring any bells with me? Traveling through the many planes, as I often do.
It is in the Moonshae Isles.
So it's in Faerun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, it is in Faerun. It's kind of the remote Moonshae Isles.
Koshmar. So as Tatiana looks over, Baloth's one eyebrow just went, ooh, and he nods.
Or Kira, you said you wanted to sit down next to Shaka before he is 1 foot into the next world.
Yeah, I just kind of plunk down and sigh, and then after a moment,
Is there a reason you didn't want to give her the thing?
I haven't completely shared this with everyone, but I had a really, really traumatic experience with the Raven Queen, and you know, I've shared that she took something from me, but I don't think I've gotten really deep into what it was. And he kind of like looks off to the side and kind of see his eyes glisten a bit, and he basically says, everything that was good that I remember from my life, from my adventures and Waterdeep in different areas, just feels like a memory that's not mine. I can remember some of it, but it almost feels like I'm remembering someone else's life. And if this symbol can help me in any way to get that back, I just have a feeling that I might be able to use this in some way, either with the Raven Queen herself or some time along the way. Sorry, I didn't mean to put all this on you. I just needed to tell someone. Maybe I'm just getting delirious with tiredness, but you also seem like someone that would be a good ear to listen to. Yeah, and he's kind of saying this as he's like, undoing a bedroll and beginning to lay back, like he's maybe at a 60-degree angle. Sorry, I'm a math person. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah.
Now bring on all the math. Or Kira won't understand it, but she appreciates it.
That's the real witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate you telling me. I know that sounds horrible. If you can, when we think that the Raven Queen took Havilar as part of a deal, what did the Raven Queen give you in exchange for your joy?
It's kind of hard for me to understand, but from talking to a friend of mine, Whittle, and I get the sense that I was fading away, and that was the price for me being able to live.
Oh, Whittle did this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was kind of the only way, as they tell me, because obviously I wasn't privy to it, to keep me going. So I was visited by the Raven Queen, and it was just a very, very, I still every once in a while see visions of it. Just that life I lived, I feel like is like as I said before, it's like I'm remembering someone else's life, not my own. And when I sit down and think about what I've experienced, it's just dark and black and haunting. And I just want some semblance of normality back.
Well, we can definitely try to help. We're trying to help both you and Farida. Like I said before, I'm not that kind of cleric. But if you do ever want to not be a Dampier, that I can fix.
Yeah. But it's really weird that we're all here, that we've all been brought to this place. But when I think about it, because you know Celise,
Oh yeah.
we were also all brought together under different means, and we became very close, even though it's hard for me to really sense that closeness anymore. So maybe we were all brought here for a reason, right? Maybe I was turned for a reason, and I don't know. I feel like I just need to own up to it. Whittle gave me a lot of tips, and I kind of show you. I have like a bottle of blood in my thing. I have a couple of those squirrels.
Oh, now I understand the squirrels.
I have a couple of those squirrels tied together in like a in like a rope. And
Did someone say squirrel?
I try to hide the squirrel from Tatiana's vision. I attempt to. I don't know if I'm successful or not. And I say, I think I've learned how to live with this, and I've had to live with a lot of things that were unexpected. But I feel like everything that's happening is for a reason, if only that reason is just to, make new friends that are here.
Well, I think that's probably the right way to think about it. And you're not wrong that I think we've all been brought here for a reason. I mean, there's some obvious ones like you and Farida, and the rest of us, I think, either have our own reasons or I end up going places because I'm here to help. I also have had a lot of experience with having people change what I am without my permission. So learning to live with the changes is really important. So I totally respect if, you're happy. If you want to stay that way, that's fine. But I wanted to at least let you know if you would like to not be a Dhampir anymore, I can help with that. And maybe I'm here just to help us all get through the Shadowfell and help you get your joy back and help Frida find her sister. But if I am here also to help you, just let me know.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. But I think I can deal with this. I can climb up walls now. I can do some others. I can do some cool stuff.
That is really cool. Yeah.
So, no, sorry,
nope,
I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm like trailing off. Like I actually, as I say that, you might notice, Kira, that my voice is starting to get.
I'm like half tucking him into his bedroll. Like we're finishing this conversation. I put a little marshmallow next to his pillow, and I'm like,
"Well, go get some sleep. We'll talk in the morning."
It's difficult to say because the sky outside is always a dull, starless gray that gets a little lighter or a little darker intermittently. So do you sleep through the night, or is it the middle of the day? Who knows? One strange thing you all realize is when you sleep, none of you dream. It is almost like when you lay your head down and then you just open your eyes and you feel like you haven't slept at all, although you've received the recuperative benefits in terms of your spell slots and hit points. Mentally, emotionally, and physically, it still feels like you have not slept a wink.
Does that also count for the sort of elven trance state of sleeping, like the
even
running
that
through the memories?
You being aware, like it doesn't happen. It's just like you sort of like sit down, like you're about to do it, and then Baloth, you feel Delatoth kind of kicking your boot with her boot. She's like, are all Outlanders as lazy as you all are? You've been sleeping for hours.
Well, I have to regain my magical magnificence, you understand. And hours, you say? That flew by.
I feel like I didn't sleep at all, except I did briefly dream. I thought of a squirrel. But maybe that wasn't even a dream. Was there a squirrel?
Delatoth looks up, she's like, well, there are the scurry and horrible things in a cave nearby. You don't want to encounter those.
I can speak with beasts, so maybe you didn't know.
These weren't beasts. These were just horrible, horrible creatures.
They can't talk anymore.
Yeah.
She looks at you, Baloth, and she says, Eldritch Might. Perhaps you all could assist me with something. And she goes over to the corner and pulls a tapestry off of a wire frame that looks like it's made out of bronze. And it sort of like flickers for a moment, and you see the Fortress of Memories on the other side, and it just sort of like warps and goes out. And she says, our teleportation gate is not functioning properly. If it could be made to, we could traverse to the Fortress of Memories in mere moments. If not, we will have to go the long way.
And what exactly will this require?
Give me an Arcana check. Any of you can.
Everybody?
Yep. You never know. The dice are favorable sometimes. RNG is a fickle god.
Baloth rolling a 4 is just like, that sounds like a job for some sort of egghead. I'm more of an improvisational spellcaster.
17.
13.
13?
11.
2! I'm way too busy counting people and going,
Okay, hopefully I can do the death words without it being a big deal this time.
You know, Desmond, it's difficult to know why this makes sense to you. You've been a lot of places and seen a lot of things, but as you sort of like take in this device, you kind of feel like you could stabilize it. It just might require all of you just kind of putting a little bit of your own magic into it. It's just basically you all have to consciously counteract and stabilize whatever is affecting the Shadowfell. But do you think you know how to do it?
It's kind of related to everybody. Like we can do this. I don't know how I know. I just feel like it's gonna take all of us.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Just the expenditure of raw magical energy, then casting it into this device.
Basically, a first level spell slot or a cantrip from the warlocks, not to disproportionately penalize the warlocks.
Yeah,
would do it.
But before we
Okay.
activate that, and we have a moment, it's been more than 8 hours. Death wards all around?
Do you want
Who
help?
read
I have a thing in the book.
What is
it's
this
not as
death
good as it.
ward?
Oh,
Can you eat it?
And then
No.
Desmond tosses her a piece of brisket. Like,
Oh,
it
thank you for the
prevents-
death ward, Desmond.
that's not a death ward. That's the brisket you've been eating.
I mean, brisket is just a very long-term death ward, really.
And then he just like launches brisket at Orkira as well.
She catches it as she keeps talking.
And I mean, it staves off, starving to death, which is kind of a death ward.
Pops in her mouth, chews, looks over at Frida and says,
Oh, what do you got?
We have an aspect of this book. If you put your name in it, it'll protect you, sort of like a death ward. It won't protect you from those spells that kill you automatically, so it's not quite as good. But if you need to conserve your magic, I'm used to not having a lot of spells, so I don't know if it's the same for you.
Delatoth looks over your shoulder at the book and she says, "So you're making a death note?"
No, it's like a reverse death. What's a death note?
You told me that's what you're doing.
No, it.
Kind of
Okay,
like
fine,
a
I'll
life
put it
note.
away.
I'm not signing anything without my lawyers present, and they live in Avernus, so yeah, I'll take a death ward, sure.
Here, take this too. And then Desmond just like tosses the brisket to everybody who he hasn't tossed the brisket to.
I can't sign because any quill immediately snaps under my strong fingers.
Frida, to answer your question, it does take a lot of energy to do this, but I feel like an ounce of prevention prevents a lot of bringing you back from the dead later.
and both her hands light up, and she says,
Well, if anyone wants to take her up on her option, or I got Bailoff, it sounds like
We all feel
I think
safer
I'll try
with
the
you.
book. I think I'll try the. I mean, it sounds like you're doing a lot. Like, okay, and I don't want you to tire yourself out death warding too many people. So I think I'm gonna try the book.
Okay. All right, you just
Now-
have to write your name in it.
Now, do you need my formal name? Because like Shock is the name I go by. Do you need my full
Let's
Waterdeep
do a
registered
maybe
name?
do that just in case. I
Okay.
haven't used this before, I'll be perfectly honest.
Oh, okay. So we're not sure what's gonna happen.
When you say you're not sure what's going to happen, Delatoth steps forward and writes Delatoth in the book.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, now I have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is sort of look
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. So like I write my full name in there.
So Shaka's in the book. Everybody else getting death warded. Is that what I'm hearing?
Add mine.
Desmond,
Read in the book. And
Desmond's
can
going
put-
to grab a pen and just. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
keep going, keep going.
Desmond wants to grab the pen and just like. There's like not something that somebody can do to make this the opposite of what it is there?
No. I wouldn't do that.
No, I'm not saying you. Like I'm saying like if one of those little like.
The Boggles could steal the book
If one
again.
of the Boggles stole the book and then somebody else got it and then they did something to it.
don't-
Could they make it to where it would be the opposite? Because I would prefer that.
I think that's outside of a Boggle's capabilities.
But we are in the area where the you know who she is.
Delatoth looks at you
Yeah.
and says, "Bok, bok, bok, bok."
And Desmond just like stares her in the face like I'm not afraid to sign it.
I already signed it. I mean,
I'll take your
it's,
death
I'm
ward.
just curious.
mm.
I'm just wondering if double dipping is a problem because I'm down for both personally. I
well,
like being alive.
Delatoth just looks at all of you and she's like, "I think you should hurry before the portal closes." And she steps through.
Oh, I didn't know we had
Do-
done it.
Do
All
I
right.
take a bite of the death ward or just swallow it all at once?
nope, you don't have to bite anything, or please don't bite my hand. It's okay if I touch you?
Oh, yes.
Oh yes, please.
All right, both my
I
hands
flex.
light up with both my hands light up with fire. Tatiana flexes. I take a moment to admire the flex, and then I touch both of you on your shoulders, and flaming wings come out of your back and then suck back into your back, and you are both death warded for 8 hours.
I love that bit.
That
You need
felt
to hit
nice.
anyone else.
And while we're standing in line together to get death warded, Bailoff is just sort of like, idly prestidigitating a show poster that's got Tatiana, like she's standing on top of the Tarrasque like this, and the Tarrasque is like clearly dead. And over top it says the Koshmar Crippler, and it has her catchphrase that she said earlier about like sometimes you have to fight something that is stronger than you, so you beat it the next day or whatever it was.
Right.
The quote that she said.
I sound
Mhm.
wise.
Yeah,
Nice poster.
just some idle promotional material. I'm just rolling around in the old brain dome there, but pay it no mind. Pay it no mind. We have more important matters right now.
Halo, we can get to that after we handle this.
Exactly
Stop
right.
trying
Desmond.
to get her. Like, stop trying to steal people from our home to fight in the pits. And then he just walks through the portal.
Exactly right. Please pay me no mind, Tatiana. Oh, glory and fame. And then he just walks through the portal.
I'm
Tatiana
gonna.
is really taking her time looking at this poster. She looks awesome in it.
I'm gonna quickly come up to Frida and say,
Real quick, what happens if you die before the other people, with other people in the book?
That's a very good question.
Okay, death ward.
and I'm gonna give you a death ward.
And then
After the flaming wings, I'm gonna go,
oh, sorry, I really meant to give you more warning about that.
Okay,
That's my
it's
bad.
okay.
I think you should double dip on this one.
As you all pass through the portal, you
Oh,
appear
right. The portal.
just outside the Fortress of Memories. The Fortress of Memories rises from the ash-gray landscape around it like a mass of stone spikes lashed together with darkness. The place seems to defy the mind's attempt to find a straight line anywhere within it, its shadowy walls appearing to shimmer and flicker as you draw near. All of you give me either perception or arcana checks, whichever's higher.
oh, yeah, 28 perception.
Ooh.
Perfect.
12 arcana.
Nat 20!
Natural
20 as well.
Whoa!
It's a
Hey.
28.
Double nat
You-
one.
Nice.
You all
19 arcana.
perfect. You
Nice.
all
For
notice
perception.
a few things about this place. There's lots of other buildings around it that are empty. Some of them just have their doors still just standing wide open. The fortress itself, you realize the walls are actually, the shimmering is more than cosmetic. The walls appear to be slowly crumbling, their shadowy substance leached away into the air, like the place is disintegrating in front of you in real time. You kind of, most all of you seem to kind of have an instinctive understanding that the Fortress of Memory is not a solid structure of stone, but it's rather kind of made from the will of the Raven Queen on her own. This is not just a building, and yet whatever is affecting the Shadowfell is affecting it too. And with that natural 20, Desmond and Tatiana, as you all are looking ahead, the rocky ground ahead opens up to a broad courtyard set with obsidian statues of mournful humanoids. Beyond the courtyard, twin slabs of gray marble mark the main gates into the Fortress of Memories, but the space before the gates is littered with Shadarkai bodies. 3 living Shadarkai stand among the dead, 2 with spiked chains at the ready, and all watch you with blazing white eyes. And you all kind of got high enough to realize the Shadarkai you saw before did not have glowing eyes.
Desmond, I don't think these are friends.
I don't either. You remember our last time that we dealt with any kind of Shadarkai?
Well, there were the nice ones in the last place we were.
Well, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light in the Feywild are war Shadarkai.
Oh, yes, I stole from them.
Yeah, I was talking about the dude in the dungeon, though.
Yeah, I did not like him.
Me either.
With your natural 20, I'm going to layer into what you're aware of. You've seen that white glow before. You saw it in the eyes of the undead Vecna's lieutenants that came and attacked you, had those same white glowing eyes.
I just immediately passed that to the team. So that's Vecna, like we saw that, right? Like it's the same kind of thing.
How do undead survive here so close to the Raven Queen?
What was your perception, Orkira?
I think it was a 29.
It was pretty high. Everybody's was
28.
high. They're not dead, Orkira.
As I'm saying that, and then I kind of trail off and go,
Wait, I don't think those are undead. There's something else. I don't know what's going on, but those aren't undead.
Do we have the drop on them?
They do not appear to have noticed you.
Well, we could just make them regular dead. That usually solves things.
Enough said. I cast Thunderwave.
You're out of range of Thunderwave unless you move in closer.
I move in closer.
I like the way you think.
Orkira, give me an insight check.
okay.
Shaka, what was your Arcana? It was pretty high as well.
19.
I got a dirty 20.
I'm gonna give you with that Arcana check, Shaka, even though I gave it to you for the I asked for it for the building. You realize if they're being controlled, it might be possible to break it.
I think these are, whatever these are, undead or not, they're definitely under some kind of spell.
So don't kill them right away is what you're saying?
Well, maybe if we find what is controlling them, we might be able to maybe take out all of them at once. But we still have to get past these. So, I'm just trying to say that we might try to look for some kind of central source as well that's controlling them.
If you look at, if you look at detect magic at the courtyard, is there anything that's clearly putting off this effect nearby?
This whole place is pretty catastrophically magical, but you don't detect anything in the vicinity. This seems to be the source of it. There's just the three of them. And they're surrounded by dead Shadarkai. Like, clearly a big fight broke out here, and the three of them are standing there.
Aloth, remember how you said the thing about the frenemy being the frenemy of my frenemy with frenemies?
Oh, yes. The frenemy of my frenemy is my frenemy, yes.
That! If we can find the thing that's controlling them and stop that, we could turn these into people who could be friends, and then that's one less group of people we have to fight.
Fair enough. I'm usually more the incinerate or electrocute them type. Do you have any ways to break enchantments or possession?
Yeah. But I gotta get close.
All right, then I'll defer to you. But if things go south, then the electrocution begins.
That's fair.
I can make you invisible. Would that help get you closer?
I have to assume. I mean, I'm pretty loud. I mean, I tried my best,
And I will point at my outfit.
but I'm still kind of a bit of a klutz on the ground anyway.
Hold on.
You fly?
I think there's something in my hand. And then I gesture towards one of them and cast Dispel Magic.
Ooh.
Hold on, let me check something here real quick. Let me check.
Or that works even better. Now we don't have to get close.
There are three of them, Tatiana.
I just can cast it on one.
Right, but they are one of them is different than the other two. One of them is carrying a long spear. The other two have very long chains that are wrapped around their arms and dangle out from their arms.
I pick spear person.
Okay. You see this detect magic goes off, and they sort of blink for a second, and they say like, oh, why did we? And the other two turn and look at them and immediately jump that person. All of you roll initiative.
Great.
All right.
I feel like I am ready for battle in this place like I have never been ready before.
Is that a 20, Tatiana?
18, better than
All
my
right.
normal, like,
That is
5.
much better than your normal 5. Yes, much better.
I took the place of that nat and got a nat 1, so I'll just be waiting.
Exactly. Yeah,
Which
again, you're
hurts.
not going last this round. You're going first in the second round. Yep. Okay. Or Kira?
I'm not much faster than Desmond. I got a 6, but hey, it's that cleric life.
Baloth?
17.
17. Farida?
13.
13. And Shaka?
15.
So I will tell you all, there is a strange thing that is going on here. So if you are attempting to free their minds, basically tell me, because that will affect what it is that is going to happen versus anything else you might want to do. So, but either way, Tatiana is first. It's like clearly this scuffle is about to break out. Tatiana, what would you like to do?
I run, I want to use all my movement to run as fast as I can towards them, pulling out my kukris, using a bonus action to rage, and then if I can get within melee range, I want to stabby stab.
You can. So go ahead and make your attack.
Okay. Dirty 20.
That is more than enough to hit one of them.
Ooh. 9 damage slashing with my kukri.
Perfect.
And then I'm 5th level of barbarian now, so I'm gonna do it again.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Roll. Make another attack. Yep.
Second one is a 17.
That is also more than enough.
Another 5.
Perfect. You come up and you attack this thing. Oh, hold on a second. Sorry.
Pardon me, just helping out.
What is Tatiana's AC currently?
16.
Oof. Well, good news is one of them rolls double 1s on its chain attack. So as you like start stabbing at it, it starts swinging wildly and missing. Unfortunately, the other one hit with all 3 of its attacks, one of which is a natural 20.
Ooh, I am
So-
raging.
You are raging. First thing, Tatiana, I need 3 dex saves.
Ooh, okay.
I'm assuming she's fairly far ahead of us at this point.
Yep.
Okay.
She charged ahead, as
First
she is wont to do.
A 14,
Mhm.
a 4,
Mm-hmm.
and a 3.
Give me, okay, Tatiana. This is not accounting for your damage mitigation. But you take 40 piercing damage and 44 necrotic damage.
Oh my gracious.
From a chain?
And you all see Tatiana goes flying backwards and is knocked down. So she runs up and is boom, 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 and it's and she goes flying backwards and lands prone. That is not accounting for your damage mitigation.
So I have
However,
resistance, so that's just 42.
yes. Yes.
Just 42.
The wounds
Honestly,
are
don't
cut,
hurt that bad.
Cuts in black and burned all over your blue flesh, Tatiana. However, Baloth, it is now your turn.
All right. Seeing what Tatiana did, Baloth restrains his natural instinct to just cast Meteor Swarm on all of them. And so one of them is currently free. Is that correct?
Correct, the one with the spear.
All right.
Yeah, the light has gone out of its eyes.
Baloth looks at which one actually managed to hit Tatiana? The one that she stabbed?
Yeah. No, the one that she stabbed rolled double 1s. The one that she did not stab is the one that put it on her.
Okay, so the one that actually hit her gets dispelled. That's a 120-foot range.
Baloth, as you raise your hand, you feel an upsurge in eldritch power that leaps out, and your spell goes off twice.
Oh. All right then. I'm gonna both of them then get dispelled.
dispelling both of them. And you see the one with the chain hits Tatiana, and then the light goes out of both of them, and they just stop. And they look down at the other dead Shadowkai, and they look up at Delatoth, and all three of them just hit their knees. And she says to them, "What is the meaning of this?" And they say, the walls and the ravens. And you notice all over the top of this building, it is surrounded by ravens, and ravens that are all over the place. And Tatiana and Desmond, you in particular can tell that the ravens seem very agitated and upset. And the horn was sounded inside the fortress. They mustered all of the Shadowkai. We answered the call as we must, and we were the last group to enter. And then they turn and look down at the dead Shadowkai, and they're like, "What have we done? What have we done?
You've killed your friends. You've killed your friends.
Or you got taken over by something, and the thing that took over killed these Shadowkai, and that's hard to understand at this moment, but it's the truth."
And I'm kind of gently walking up, and I'm gonna just tap Tatiana on the shoulder and be like, you're awesome, and I'm gonna give you a cure wounds.
Oh, okay. I was trying to help them from their own guilt they would have later when they found out.
You see all three of these Shadowkai just like drop their weapons and like go and like kneel down next to the bodies of these dead Shadowkai and like kind of like pick them up and cradle them. He's like, we didn't know. We just came to answer the call. And Delatoth just stands there and looks at them for a moment, and she says, "We shall have to let the queen deal with them, I think." And she motions towards the fortress. She's like, "Unless you all require justice of some sort against them, I will not interfere if you wish to take their lives in retribution."
Tatiana,
No.
up to you.
I will offer the question to them. Would you like me to take your life for what you've done here? As I stand up and look at the new wounds I've acquired, which are healing but left a mark.
Definitely. They don't respond to you.
I guess that's a maybe later.
Farida?
Maybe we should just keep going. They obviously have their own way of doing things.
I have to say, I feel all full of vim and vinegar, as it were. I only cast that spell once, but it went off twice.
It's been happening.
Yeah, there's some strange things have been happening here. It happened to me as well. Yeah, just watch your spell usage, because sometimes things can happen twice.
Or sometimes things don't happen at all.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really regretting not casting Meteor Swarm. That would have been amazing.
What a strange and powerful place you live in.
We're not from here.
No.
You're more from here than I am from here. I'm from here today.
You see Delatoth just kind of walks past you and walks up towards the gate, which is barred. And she just looks up, and she doesn't even raise her voice. She says, "I am Delatoth, open." And they swing open.
How did she know that was gonna work? She would have looked really dumb if it didn't.
She does live here.
Oh.
And she just strides in, and as you all follow after her, a dozen doors stand along the length of a huge entrance hall, including a set of double doors at the far end. The walls here are lined with furniture and plinths and hung with shelves and ledges, with each of those surfaces covered with objects: art pieces, clocks, tools, mirrors, jewelry, toys, vases, weapons, urns, trinkets, and more. Most are solid, but a few shimmer in a way that suggests they are unreal manifestations of magic. And you see Delatoth just walks in, and she's like, "Come, my lady awaits."
Yeah, let's do this.
I don't keep ladies waiting.
Shaka's definitely he's going, but he's nervous. Like he's visibly nervous. Isn't he?
What is all of this?
She sort of stops for a moment. She says, "This? Oh, it's memories. Things that were important to someone." And Farida, you see something. You see it's a short sword. It was meant for you. Sitting on the wall.
Are you go pick it up?
When you pick it up, you hear, finally ready to live up to your potential, huh? And behind you, you see your father, Mahin.
Oh.
And that seems like... All of you see you were standing out in a field. There is a fire burning. You see Havilar, those of you that know her, practicing with her glaive, diligently cutting and thrusting. For those of you that don't know her, you see Farida again. It's just she has a different color eyes. She's more muscular, but otherwise they're identical. And you see this golden bronzish dragonborn staring right at Farida, saying, yes, take up the sword then. Come on, get to it. Stop dallying with that magical nonsense.
Do I remember where I just was, or?
But that's Dad, and that's Farida, and you remember this day. It was one of 100 times that he wanted you to be like her, be like them, but you couldn't. You aren't.
Are you here?
Where else would I be, child? Come on. And he taps you on the forehead. Concentrate. And you feel it.
Are we still in the Shadowfell?
Havilar, I feel your sister has taken leave of her senses. She's not listening either. What did I do to raise these daughters that only pay me heed when it's convenient? Farida, my child, listen. One day you will be out in the world and you won't be able to rely on your parlor tricks. The strength of steel, and he pushes the sword into your hand, is the only reliable thing.
This is unreliable, exactly none at all. I do what I have to do. This isn't gonna keep her safe.
What would you suggest as an alternative, Perhaps we all can just decide to slice off a bit of ourselves and just sell it in exchange for power. And
that is not what happened!
Oh, isn't it? Oh, sorry. I know you think you know so much better than me. I know you always have. I know I've done everything I could to impart our ways to you, child. I love you, Farida. I love you, but I do not understand you. Why do you resist this? Why do you resist me?
Aloth leans over to the others and just goes, so is this a Ghost of Yuletide Past kind of situation? Can he see us?
If he can, he has not acknowledged you in any way, and neither's Havilar.
Rita?
Can I see them?
Yeah. Although it's getting increasingly difficult to concentrate on them. You're aware that they're there, but it's Mahin and Havilar are coming sharper and sharper into focus, and they're getting further and further away.
I'm sorry. We have this fight a lot. I just need a minute. What?
We do have this fight a lot, and we have this fight a lot because you will not listen.
Xanathar prides itself on adaptability. This doesn't work. And throw the short sword into the ground. And is there anything that's not Mahin or Havilar that I could throw an Eldritch Blast at?
Absolutely. You're just at a campsite. One of the many times that he just took you all out into the woods to train.
I'm gonna use the whatever tree, just like unload a bunch of Eldritch Blasts at it.
Oh, yes. Yes, that is exactly it. And you all see from behind a nearby tree a blood red man steps out with horns and wings. Farida.
Not now, please.
Oh, but if not now, when? Listen, I apologize. I don't mean to get you stuck between the two of us, but look at his face. He's about to, his eye is gonna pop out of the socket. Show him, yes. Obviously, my power will never depart you, ever. I will never abandon you. I will never ask you to be something other than you are, unlike him.
She is blushing very hard, and she steps between Mehen and Lorcan, facing Lorcan. She goes, "You are not helping. You are not helping. Just was doing something. I was doing something else."
I know, my darling. And you do see he puts his finger under her chin and gets right in her face. I didn't want to interfere, but I felt your anger rising. I felt you getting upset. I felt you call upon your power. And of course I answered. But Havilar, is he here? Tell him to show himself to me if he's so powerful. And Lorcan looks right past you, Farida, and says, should I show myself to him?
No, you should not show yourself to him.
I mean, it might be fun. I don't know
Okay.
what he might do. Are you asking me nicely not to?
Please, don't antagonize him right now. I was doing something important, and I don't need to figure out how to make you happy and how to keep him happy, and just if you're gonna help me, can I see everybody else? Or,
Again, it's almost like they're out of focus, but you're aware. Balot's right there, Shaka, Tatiana, or Kira, Desmond, but it's like as they get harder and harder to see, Lorcan, Mehen, and Havilar look clearer and clearer to you.
I look at Havilar. Do I remember the Shadowfell? Do you remember what he's doing?
Give me a wisdom save, Farida.
It's a natural 20.
You 100% remember your sister. You know that you were there to see the Raven Queen, to find Havilar.
Do I know if this is real, or is that still a question mark?
It certainly feels real. This happened. You remember this exchange, and yet you were in the Fortress of Memories. With a natural 20, you know you were in the Fortress of Memories, and now you're seeing this, which is a memory.
I am gonna walk away from Lorcan and from Mehen. I'm gonna go straight up to Havilar.
Excuse me, young lady. No, we are not done with this.
We are very done with this. Havilar!
And you see she finally stops, and she turns and she looks at you, and she's covered in sweat. And you know, usually when you two get into it, she responds by just pushing herself that much harder.
I'm gonna grab her hands and be like, you have to come with me. You have to come with me. You're not supposed to be here.
She's not done practicing yet, and neither are
Please
you.
don't listen. Don't listen. We were in the Fortress of Memories. We came to find you. Rakira and Chaka and Balos, and we met these people, Desmond and Tatiana. You love Tatiana. Please come with me.
She leans in your ear like she's about to say something to you, and you all find yourself back in that cavern with all the trinkets and artifacts and things, and they're just gone.
Does that happen often to you?
Delatoth looks around and she says, "That should not be. My queen has the ability to imprison interlopers in a prison of their own memory, but she should not be doing that to us. And quite frankly, if she did, you should not have been able to escape. We should probably move faster."
Okay.
Rita, did you want that? You dropped the sword. Is that what?
The sword is there.
I don't know if
And
you should touch
Farida,
it again.
It's
Farida, you're
Yeah.
100% sure it's the sword Mahin carries for you, but it's right there.
it's not mine, but Mehen, it's he keeps it in case I change my mind. That shouldn't be here. Do you think he's here too? Is that why he didn't come with us?
If he is here, we'll find him. Just like we're gonna find your sister. Just like we're gonna find Shaka's joy.
Ah, Shaka's joy! Speaking of things that should not be here, Shaka, we had an accord. And all of you find yourselves in what could best be described as an underground vice den. There are tables and drinks, all manner of sentient drinking and carousing. And in the center of this all, you all see a bloated purplish blue beholder. He is covered in jewelry, his lips are pierced, there are rings on all of his eye stalks, and in front of him on the table is a very large fish bowl with a large goldfish floating in it. "Yes, Shaka, you called upon the power of the almighty Xanathar, and the Xanathar answered, as he does. And yet you broke our accord, Shaka. Step forward. Let me get my eyes on you."
Shaka is going to look down and whisper, "This isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't real." And then
Is
look
it
back.
not? Are you sure? Do you believe you've gotten lost in your cups? Is that what you are saying to the almighty Xanathar? That I am a figment of your imagination?
He also wants to look backwards and see if he sees the rest of the party. Or if it's just
Same thing. They look faded and out of focus. You're aware of their presence, but the harder they get to see, the more Xanathar comes into focus. Give me a wisdom save, Shaka.
Got a 14.
Shaka, you remember. You remember exactly what it was like with him in your mind. You remember exactly what it was like with him as your patron. And all of that comes flooding back to you. You can't help it.
Well, I look back at everyone, I take a deep breath, and I walk forward. I walk towards Xanathar.
Bow before the almighty Xanathar, bow.
Shaka does hesitate a bit, but he does bow.
And the Xanathar levitates off of his platform and floats over you and comes down on your back. Yes, this is it exactly. This is where you belong, Shaka. This is your place. I gave you power, I gave you purpose, and this is how you repay me with your indifference. What do you have to say for yourself?
It's been a hard road. I'm sure you know that.
The Xanathar knows nothing of difficulties. I am the supreme being. All things work out according to my will. And one of his eyes turns down and gets right in your face. But I am aware of your inferiority.
done your bidding for a long time, and I think I've done it rather successfully. If anything, I hope that I've earned some grace for many mistakes I made.
You are here to impede upon the Xanathar's mercy. Is that what it is you intend to do today? After ignoring me, after breaching our bargain, after throwing in your lot with that celestial? You think I did not see, but of course the Xanathar sees and knows all things.
Well, and Shaka clearly looks shaken at this revelation. I always mispronounce that word. And he says, if I knew I was serving you from the beginning, this might have been an honest bargain. When you speak of bargains, I was misled. So the bargain itself was never a, two consenting parties bargain.
So it is your intent. It is your intent to plead ignorance and not mercy then? You did not know that you were in the presence of the almighty Xanathar, and therefore you could not have done any better. I could not have known. Is that what you are saying to the almighty? Stilgar! And you see one of his eyes lights up, and the fishbowl floats forward and gets in your face. Stilgar! He is saying that we have somehow cheated him, that he did not know. What do you think, Stilgar? And you see the goldfish looks at you, and it does sort of go. He's like, ha! Yes, there it is. I believe we will require retribution, Shaka. I believe you might still be of some use to us, but there are some of those that perhaps are special to you that might suffer in your stead. Name one of your associates. Name someone who will suffer for your misgivings. Perhaps Celise Astoria. I think it would be good to break a servant of Tyr for the Xanathar's amusement. Do you not?
All of a sudden, Shaka begins to stand up from his bow and says, I refuse to let anyone suffer for any decisions that I've made, whether I was aware of them or not. So if anyone needs to suffer, it should be me.
And suffer you shall. And all of you see the Xanathar's eyes light up like he is about to blast Shaka. And you all are back in that room. Unfortunately, Shaka, you have gained the frightened condition, as staring down your imminent death at the hands of the Xanathar, or at least your imminent suffering, is something that you will not be able to shake.
Yeah, so I guess I look around at everyone. Since I just saw a memory, I know everyone saw that as well. And I just look at everyone and say, please don't think any less of me.
Are you kidding? You know the Xanathar.
You stood up to the Xanathar.
You could have tried to stab him or something.
I wish I had the strength to, but the Xanathar controlled my life for a very long time, and I just didn't expect to be in that position again.
You stood up. And you stopped whatever it was they were planning to do to someone else. And you owned it.
Frida's gonna go stand next to Shaka and just be like, she's not playing fair. That one moment isn't everything anyway, but they're right, you were brave.
Bravery. Is that it? Bravery is what we are here for, Or, Kira, has bravery served you up until now? And all of you see a tall wizard with robes that hang open, showing his chiseled body. Standing.
Hello?
Or, Kira, you and I. Yes. How did you find yourself back in this pocket dimension here in bag space?
I mean, this time I don't know. But it's not a surprise, really. What did you...
And I turn around, remembering what has happened to Frida and Shaka. Do I see them?
Same thing. You see him very clearly. They all seem pale and out of focus, but they're there.
I'm going to address my friends and point to Vordred and say,
all right, I guess it's my turn. Listen,
who are you
don't have
talking
to pay attention to whatever this is. But if you can go, or if you want to intervene, like, I'm just gonna give you permission.
How can we not pay attention? Look at those abs.
I mean, there's a lot of abs,
He's a
yeah.
pack.
Listen, he's a lot, I admit.
I don't know who you're speaking to, but yes, I do pride myself on my constitution. Everyone thinks just being a grand wizard means you only can pursue the books, but I also like to, you know.
Well, someone has to lift all of that gelatinous cube, I guess. I don't know. Listen.
Should we blast him?
No, I mean, he's mostly harmless.
Who are you talking? I am not mostly harmless, thank you. Who are you talking to?
Oh, you're a memory. At least you're not the worst memory to be pulled out of my head, so I guess I should be grateful.
Kira, you know we are trapped in a pocket dimension. Outside the wheel of time turns. You don't know once we are finally released, will your loved ones still be there? Will they be long dead? Will you be long forgotten? What is this fantasy you've allowed to preoccupy your mind? Would you like me to help you?
Nope, no. You
Kira,
just made things worse.
Give me a charisma save.
okay. 21?
You just made things worse.
Are you back in the pocket dimension? Like, I mean, come on. You were in the Shadowfell, but I mean, like, if you were in the pocket dimension, would you know though?
I look back at the group that I'm with.
I'm not sure how to get out of this place.
I think if I knew an easy escape, I would have taken it already myself. Although, I have good news for you. I've managed to brew some tea here. Would you like to sit down and just pass the time with me, I suppose?
No, I don't have any time. We've got stuff to do.
We have nothing but time.
The longer I'm here, the worse it gets for Briv and Penelope and Elindra.
Yes. Your friends, I know. You wish to get back to them. Tell me, Orkira, have you ever considered that perhaps your presence might actually contribute to their difficulties? Perhaps their lives are going much easier and unimpeded without you. Have you considered this? I've considered it, because we are here. I've considered everything.
Have you considered... Wait, have you considered that for you, or you considered that for me? Because
both.
I consider that for me all the time, but...
Yes.
Why?
I've made many mistakes in my life.
I know, I've fixed them.
But who's there to fix your mistakes, Orkira? At least now in this place, you're not there to make them. You don't have to do the patch job on the robe that is never torn without you. Maybe you should just give up. Come, sit.
No, giving up would be the worst. And I might not be able to fix everything, but that doesn't mean that I shouldn't try. And you cause more issues than you fix. And I don't have the time to sit here and think over my guilt.
And I'm going to turn back to my friends.
How did you make the memory stop? Can we make the memory stop now?
Why would you want this to stop?
I don't know why you would want this to stop, really. I find you fascinating.
I didn't really have any control.
Grab Orkira's hands, because we didn't try that before.
Can I touch her?
You touch, she's physically there. Mm-hmm.
That's not real. You're not in there. You're not there. You're here with us. And you don't mess things up. Orkira, you're fixing everything. You're holding all of this together.
I mean, but what if...
What if this is all just another manifestation of the pocket
Don't.
dimension? Yes,
Nope.
exactly.
Nope.
You understand my point. Whatever you see,
Look at me.
wherever you go, you will never be certain that you are not still just here with me. So why
You're not.
try?
You're not.
I don't know. If you can't trust a man with 8 abs, who can you trust?
Listen, Lorcan
Hear
has a
that.
lot of abs. A lot of abs. Okay? Don't listen to the people just because they have really great abs or really handsome faces.
No, listen,
I've never heard anyone argue such a point.
Kira, anyone with that many abs has never tasted a marshmallow. Think about that sadness.
That's not necessarily true. And then I flex and more abs appear.
Yeah, but you just ate a marshmallow though, so that doesn't really apply.
I squeezed really hard and like it was a 10-pack and now it's a 12-pack. It means nothing.
Okay. Tatiana has more
she's
abs.
got more
so
abs
Tatiana
than
wins.
Ab Wizard over there.
Tatiana's real.
More
This
abs?
guy's fake.
12 abs, 8 abs. You pick.
It's math, I think. Shaka, is this math?
12 wins.
Or
Definitely
Kira,
not.
I will not do anything to try and keep you here. I don't have to. All roads lead back to me. And you're back in that room, or Kira.
Watch, if I do this and then I stop and then I do this, the bear looks like he's talking.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that is good. That's something.
Where did you even find the extra 2 abs over there? Like that didn't. How's that even doable?
I think I work out in my sleep.
Or here's gonna.
You need more brisket, and he just throws her like 2 packets.
No, wait, I've
catches
got a
it
better
midair.
idea. I've got a better idea. And like frantically trying to clear the cobweb, she's gonna reach and grab her little bag of marshmallows and be like,
Okay, if this is happening to all of us, we should talk real quick. Tatiana, Desmond, Baloth, if you are next, what do you want us to do when it happens? And here, just for my own benefit.
and I'm gonna start handing out marshmallows.
Sure.
And I
but,
take that marshmallow and just hold it.
From what I
don't know.
can
I try not
see-
to remember anything too much, so it helps with this sort of memory-based torture.
And from
When
what I
you-
can tell, we just ride it out and it resolves itself.
I don't know, felt really, really real, and I was doubting that it was not real.
Yeah, I think riding it out might be harder than you think.
Should we slap you?
I just like to pull out a piece of brisket. Somebody put this under my nose. If I go under,
Okay.
that's gonna let me know that whatever it is isn't real.
When
I
you
will
say
accept
that,
that
Desmond,
slap.
Calling salts.
a cold breeze blows here through the room and leaves blow across. And you all hear something, a voice coming from nowhere in particular.
Well, Desmond, where have you run off to? Leaving your friends again? Abandoning them? Letting them wander aimlessly? How like you?
Or how unlike me when I met my friends. I just
Oh, I know
randomly
you're-
showed up there with them when I met these friends. I randomly
Yes.
showed up here as well. So maybe you can tell me a little bit about that.
That might be a long conversation we're going to have later.
Hmm.
And Tatiana,
No,
leaving
It's
poor
not you.
Valentine alone?
I'm looking for her. I'll go back.
It's not
Tatiana
me.
requested.
You think this is a dream? You think this is fake? Not real?
Do the plan, Frida. You got the pocket
Slap
brisket.
Tatiana.
No,
Oh.
I need to speak to her.
Yep.
Do you really
Monica,
want to
come
slap your new
back.
friend around like that? Is that wise?
Yes, you
Aren't
slap
you
her. and
supposed to
then-
be?
I ignore the slap completely. I doesn't do much.
Oh, you all
Sorry.
still hear her, absolutely.
Uh-oh. I think
Monica,
Interesting
please.
group.
this memory knows we're here.
This is no memory. I
Oh.
know you're there. I know you're wondering. I have an idea of exactly what is going on. This is no dream.
Desmond looks at Baloth and just, she's a little powerful. It happens.
But this isn't a memory. she's here.
She
She's
just
new?
spoke to Baloth.
I see you. And she looks to Akira. And I see you.
You all
Father.
do see what looks like the very, very faintest outline of a woman in a black gown.
I run to it and try and hug it.
You pass clear through it.
Every time.
It doesn't even coalesce enough to make out features, so much as just a presence.
You know this person, Tatiana, Desmond?
That's Waterdeep.
It's the
we
shell
know.
of where a friend once stood.
Is this?
Greetings.
Hello,
But this
Bela.
isn't something you remember from before.
Oh, they've known me from before, Shaka.
Yeah, see, she's not.
How do you know my
illusion.
name?
See,
I have my ways.
I just told you she's powerful.
She was bright and full of love once, but something changed her.
Well, madam, if I may, you are clearly a being of great power. I wonder if you might illuminate our situation somewhat. You have traveled here to the Shadowfell, have you?
Travel's a interesting word. You want my help?
No, you don't.
Do you give it honestly? Or do you wish to trick us again?
Sometimes tricks are needed to get to what you want.
Right
No,
when she says that, Desmond takes out his short sword and just like kind of stabs it in the ground in front of him. And just, this is the sword that we held her in until she betrayed us. But we're alive, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
why are you here?
Yeah.
It catches my interest.
Are you
Something
responsible
that's-
for us coming here?
Oh no. But it's always fun to see what others of similar abilities of mine are able to do. Right now, this is just a wonderful show for me.
Right when she says that, Desmond looks at Tatiana. It's just, if she's here, I guarantee the other two aren't too far behind.
The other
I'll let
two?
you get back. Oh, there's many of us. But I'll let you get back to your little games for now. But good to see you both. I'm sure I'll see you later.
Oh,
Give me back my friend.
And you all see that outline dissipates. Although Desmond and Tatiana both give me charisma saves.
6. Oh, just 7.
15.
Both of you, brave faces aside, that presence, that malevolence, the sheer silky hatred radiating off of Voronika grabs a hold of both of your hearts, and you also gain the frightened condition. Baloth, as you steady yourself, you hear Baloth, 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 Baloth. You want to help? Want me to help? Baloth, I can help. I can help. I got this. Baloth, I got this. Baloth, I got this. Baloth, I got this.
Do I recognize the voice?
You do. In the moment it forms in your mind, you see, and all of you see a pink holophant floating in midair in the middle. Bubbles all around her.
Ah, Bubbles.
Yeah,
What brings-
absolutely.
What brings you here?
Is this the one that Havlar? It's a
But what's up with Havilar's eye? And she looks all like, you've not been lifting. And she does come forward and like squeezes your arms. She's like, oh.
Oh, easy error, Bubbles. This is Havilar's sister.
Ah! Yeah. She, I don't think she mentioned you to me, but that's cool. No, that's cool. Hey, but I'm here to help, as I always
Oh.
do. Baloth, Baloth,
Hmm?
I'm gonna get you out of this, buddy. You're in a little bit of a pickle. I got you. Ready?
Now, Bubbles, do keep in mind that when you try to help
and
you
she
up,
slaps her hands together, and there is a shower of sparkles that goes out in all directions. And you are all...
Are we red pandas?
Afflicted. You're not red pandas.
Okay, all right.
Unfortunately, as you all are looking at her, it looks like the shower of sparkles is actually coming up towards her instead of coming off of her. In fact, it actually looks like everything is moving backwards. And you all have been afflicted by a curse of speaking backwards. And Bubbles is like, all right, you good now, right? Right? You good? You good? Wait, I mean, why did they still look so sad and scared? No, Baloth, yes?
Memory, isn't this so?
Oh.
That was what?
Ah. Ah, okay, right.
That was what?
That didn't work. Okay, I'm gonna workshop it. I got this. I got you guys. Just go through that door. And she vanishes in a shower of sparks and glitter, still leaving you all trapped, speaking backwards.
One lip reserve.
Phillips cast licks knock.
Crap. Crap.
Baloth is going to try casting a cantrip to see if he can still cast spells. He's just going to...
And not only do you cast... Actually, Baloth, the other side of your current affliction is a 50% chance to do nothing. So high or low, Baloth? Or even or odd.
Well, Baloth would have to choose odd, so...
I was thinking Baloth must choose odd. I didn't want to ask. Well, for once, I rolled a 1, but that's actually good for you. So yes, your cantrip does go off twice.
It's 2 firebolts shoot out. Yep, I can shoot without and cast.
All of you see Delatoth, who is there, sort of takes a step backwards, like she's seen a ghost too, but whatever she saw, you didn't. And she just kind of puts her hand on her head for a second, and she sort of like puts her hand on your shoulder, Baloth, like she's about to say something. And all of you hear, coming from the door at the end of the hallway, the chamber ahead glows with a furiously flickering blue-white light, and a horrid buzzing tone hangs on the air. Over it, a gravelly voice intones words in an unknown tongue. And you see Delatoth opens her mouth like she wants to say something, but it's like no words come out. You all just hear this buzzing and chanting coming from the room, and the light starts to glow more.
That is what?
Again, happiness did how?
With nothing.
Here on Going What's bravo. Like, don't I?
I would just like to say bravo, and I'm so proud of all of you. That's all I have to say.
Here on Going is what?
Baloth leans in and says, Lord need what it need worship Demogorgon, but need what need not.
I'm going to take a step toward the chamber and say, "Tia it drot og," and point toward.
You see, Delatoth just looks at all of you, and she opens her mouth like she's about to say something, and again she can't. She just sort of like looks for a second, and then she just points towards the door again.
I'm gonna walk up to her, and I'm gonna try to examine her, because her affliction seems to be different than what's going on with us. Can I tell what's gone wrong?
You can't, and you're also aware that whatever she saw, you did not see. And now that you think about it, as you all were having your visions, she was not there. But she's back with you now.
Okay, you are?
And she just kind of like looks at you for a second, and then she just like slowly shakes her head no. and points
Lady,
towards that
yours
door.
where? There go.
Yeah. Okay.
Need to footnote, sometimes my arms spin backwards.
Presumably you all are heading towards the door.
This
yes.
lady can't talk, we.
Rock is.
Okay. Shaka.
Before we go in the weird flickering room, I want to cast Armor of Agathis. That's all.
Perfect. You absolutely can. Shaka, when you get closer to the door, you actually see that it is kind of actually slightly ajar, where you can see into it without having to push your way all the way in. The dome ceiling chamber stretches 100 feet across or more. 4 other doorways opening up along its curved walls, and its floor etched with a massive magic circle inset with a 7-pointed star and pulsing with eldritch power. 6 Shadarkai stand just a few feet inside the arched open doorway, one in scale mail, the others in robes, all standing motionless. At the center of the magic circle, a creature with a vulture-like face and a hunched body paces back and forth, uttering the mystic words of some sort of ritual. Shaka, give me an Arcana check.
Yeah. 10.
Shaka, you can, you do notice the only one moving is the vulture creature. The other ones seem like they're frozen in place.
Okay. I point toward the vulture face, I guess. Go. And I say, Met Gillenok see Ortlov it.
This had better be with Shaka.
You cannot understand it.
And then I am going to Eldritch Blast this thing because I am still shaken up from the memory, and the other folks that we dispelled the magic from. So I am taking no chances. So I am going to blast Vulture Face. Or attempt to.
Perfect. You can attack, but while you are still frightened, you will roll with disadvantage. So
I'm
go
still
ahead.
in line of sight to the. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah. Sure.
Is that a strength check? Are you just attacking?
Yeah. I'm just.
No, it's for him. Eldritch Blast is ranged. It's dex based.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
my
an
bad.
attack roll.
I'm gonna run up and touch you and cast Enhance Ability. And cast Cat's Grace.
It won't help.
No, I think about it and then I definitely don't do that.
Right. Yeah. You
as-
can. It just won't actually help him with shooting Eldritch Blast.
As Tatiana is about to do that, Bailoff holds up his hands and says, "What? I've got good news. The gum you like is coming back into style."
Roll it, Shaka.
All right. So I have four beams, which I'm aiming all at Vulture Face.
Mhm.
At disadvantage, I get a 15 for one, a 9 for the other. So far not great. But it's this disadvantage. A 22 for one, and for the last one, a 15.
Your beams all skew super wide, and then one hits this thing. And you see it turns and looks at you and says, "Heroes! Pets of the Raven Queen! No matter, you won't stop the plans of the undead master now. You won't stop the destruction that the Dark Prince will unleash. Nor will you stop the Nagpa's revenge." And out of the corner of the room, what you didn't see, Shaka, is 3 people that look pale and desiccated, with eyes that grow even brighter red than yours, come charging out directly towards you. Give me the damage for your Eldritch Blast when you got it, and roll initiative.
Okay. The blast is 10 points of damage.
Perfect.
And just to be clear, this creature that talked normally, but we can hear that everybody else is talking weird?
Correct.
Okay.
It is talking forward. You guys are all talking backwards.
Yeah.
Tatiana, initiative.
Backwards talking, are we? Oh, nat 20.
Hey.
21.
Unfortunately, the monster got a net 20 as well, so you guys are going to go simultaneously. Bela?
That is lucky 13.
13. Shaka?
22.
22. That's them there. Farida?
4.
A lot's happening, Farida. Orkira?
17.
Hey! Springing into action. And Desmond.
7.
Again, a lot's happening. So let me do this real quick. Although technically this is going to happen simultaneously, Tatiana, I'm going to let you declare what you're doing now. Again, you all can see up ahead in this room that now these 3 gaunt figures with glowing red eyes have come charging out of the darkness towards Shaka. And this vulture creature is standing in the middle, performing a ritual of some sort. In fact, hold on one second here. Let me tell you the rest of what you see. Hold on. Yeah, it is just, it is clear this thing is standing in the middle of a very elaborate magic circle on the floor, essentially covered in runes. But Tatiana, it is your turn.
I don't like when people hurt or threaten. Oh, all of this you hear backwards. Friends hurt, no like. And
are you suffering from some sort of head trauma?
not suffering. Brain Tatiana, no like. And she casts Thunder Wave.
Perfect. What's the
After
save
moving forward. That's a con save of 16.
Perfect. You see this bird-like creature seems fine. The 3 charging other ones seem like they are not.
Okay,
She
they're
made
gonna
the save,
take.
they didn't. Mm-hmm.
I cast it at 5th level, so they're gonna take 5d8.
All right, roll it.
Oh, sorry. 68.
Perfect.
Roll
Let's
it.
hit that button.
While you're rolling that for me,
Don't worry, this is a digital roll. 32.
32 points of damage. Perfect. Shaka.
Oh, and then I'd like to. Never mind.
Mhm.
I don't like doing that. No. Contain. Rage. Contain.
Not gonna rage yet? Okay. Perfect.
Well,
Tatiana.
I do. The rage cannot be contained. She
Give in.
It's a
Tatiana,
deliberation.
give me a wisdom save.
Okay. Good.
And Shaka, give me an intelligence save.
Okay.
5.
Nat 20.
Yay!
I smart.
You see Tatiana cast this thunder wave, and you see the madness come over her eyes, and the Nagpa looks and says, "That will be quite enough of that," and holds her hands up, and you see Tatiana freezes in place. Shaka, you feel a crushing weight come down on your mind, but you're able to shake it off and not succumb to whatever it was she was trying to do to you. Yes,
Question.
Baloth.
Can I use my reaction to counterspell what has happened to Tatiana?
It was not a spell. It
Not a
was
spell.
a spell against Shaka, although Shaka made his save. It
Okay.
was not a spell against Tatiana.
Gotcha.
Yep. Technically, you got by easy because this might have prevented you from acting at all on your turn, Tatiana. But currently, she is paralyzed. Shaka, it is your turn.
I would like to cast. Am I still at disadvantage for attack rolls and stuff?
For attack rolls and ability checks.
An
Yep.
ability. All right, cool.
Mhm.
So I want to cast levitate. I want to levitate the vulture off of the runes.
Okay. What's your save?
Con save 16.
Okay. It does make the save.
Okay, then maybe I get it up just a little bit, just a little bit, and then drop
I'm a flightless bird. Ah!
Yeah. So then with the rest of my,
I'm going to share with you all here in this chat what this thing looks like, and I'm here to tell you thanks. I hate it.
Right.
yeah,
It's sent.
okay. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I guess
Also,
with
the Emmy goes to Becca Scott for playing Paralyzed Tatiana.
yeah, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, with my movement, I want to move closer to Tatiana. Actually.
Okay. Anything else other than getting near her?
No, I don't think I have anything else. So
Perfect. Or Kira, it is your turn.
Quick question. Do I
Mhm.
recognize what's happened to Tatiana, and is it something that I think I could remove curse?
You see, it said that's enough of that, and she stopped moving.
Okay. And the three that were rushing up, are they still coming, or the thunder wave?
They took a thunder wave in the face, so they got knocked back, but they are very much still up and fighting.
And are they undead?
Absolutely they are. The creature in the middle is not, those three are.
All right. Okay.
Kira's been enough places to know a vampire spawn when she sees one.
Yeah. Okay. Orkira's gonna look around, looking slightly unsure, and say,
You first. Time at a problem one, okay?
and rush towards these three, and she's holding up her holy symbol, and you then hear her say, in a full sentence,
Nope.
and I'm gonna channel divinity. I'm gonna turn undead. I need it to make a wisdom saving throw DC 22.
Perfect. Let me just check something here.
Yeah, I'm double checking what my destroy undead is real quick.
Yeah, how high? I think they're too high for destroy, but not
They
too.
They might be. So, did they fail?
All three of them failed.
Okay, if they're a CR 4 or lower, I destroy them.
They are higher than that.
That's kind of what I figured. That's okay.
And just and turn back.
All right, but they failed, and so they are turned. They have to spend their action, their reactions, everything running away from me for the next minute. They can't do anything else. I look at everybody else and I go,
Them attack no.
They hiss and start scrambling up the walls in this high ceiling chamber.
Creepy, yeah.
Hold on. Let me check one thing because I'm a monster and I just want to verify something here.
Checks.
No,
This
that's
is true.
that's correct.
This is
That's
true.
No,
right.
yeah, you're right about that.
I mean, it's very on brand.
No lies were told.
1 second here. Shaka. As a dump here, you do have the undead type, sir. Give me a wisdom save.
oh, I didn't move far away from Shaka.
All right. 19.
Yeah, nah,
Oh.
Shaka. Like, you got to get away from her too. Like, as these vampires are going up the wall, you got to do
scramble up
whatever.
the wall too. Then, yeah, I scramble up the wall as well.
No, Shaka! No!
Yeah.
Oh, Kara!
Ah, crap! Crap.
Yeah. Shaka's gone up the wall. Perfect. Okay. Anything else from Orkira?
Sorry, really,
As a bonus action, because that was my action, but it wasn't a spell. I'm gonna spiritual weapon. I'm gonna summon my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
At this creature.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna summon it at its basic level. So a flaming ball of magma appears in the air next to her.
Mm-hmm.
And does a 17 hit?
That is not enough.
Yeah, I didn't roll very well, but it stays there,
Mhm.
looking really impressive. And I'm now just glancing at all the chaos that I have caused, looking, and then I look back at Farida, who did such a good job of reminding me that I don't cause problems, and I'm like, I just give her this despondent look, like, and I'm done.
Finish Schnoddits.
Try.
Baloth, it is your turn.
Okay. So let us see. All right. Baloth will look at the vulture thing and say, "Where we are from, the birds sing a pretty song, and there's always music in the air." And Baloth is going to cast Disintegrate. However, I'm going to spend a sorcery point to cast it subtly, so they cannot actually tell that I'm casting a spell. So hopefully this will circumvent counterspelling.
Okay.
So Disintegrate.
It will go off twice.
Okay. This will be a couple of these then.
Whoa.
Actually, Baloth.
Oh, yes?
Higher, even or odd?
Odd.
Again, I assume Baloth is odd. Baloth, you raise your hand and nothing happens.
Oh.
Okay, question. Now this is just by action, but bonus
Correct.
actions aren't affected. Okay,
Correct.
so he does that, and then raises the other hand and snaps his fingers, and suddenly Marmadark comes into existence right beside this bird thing,
Mhm.
and will attack.
Have at it.
Nat 20 for Marmadark.
Yay! Puppy, yay!
Get this thing off of me! Okay.
So that will be so 13 points total of piercing damage.
Perfect. Is Marmadarking.
And Marmadark is beside her, so she'll get disadvantage on spell saves from Baloth.
Perfect.
Assuming I can do something. We'll see.
Anything else from Baloth?
Yeah, going to keep the reaction in check just for any counter spelling or shield spelling necessary.
Perfect. It would have been the vampire's turn. They are very much leaving. Desmond, it is your turn. As the vampires, all of them, are actively climbing the walls to get away from Orkira. This vulture creature is still in the middle of the ritual circle.
Torn, because I want to hit the vampires, but also don't want to hit Shaka. And I think middle of the room, being afraid, I may not want to go in and fight that one just yet. So I think Desmond would pop bow shots at the vampire furthest away from Shaka.
You know, because Desmond has spent so much time with Brother Uriah, I'm going to say he knows if you attack this, you'll break the turn and it can come back. I'll say that's not Desmond's first rodeo.
Yeah. So. There was those no attack, so there's that. Desmond is going to attempt to cast banishment.
Go ahead and roll it. Or yes, actually, it has to say what's
charisma save of 15.
It does make it. You see it starts to shimmer like it's going to wink out of existence, and it just says, "Oh no, your might is insufficient." And just the light sort of fades away around it as it sort of like crackles with energy.
All right, as a bonus action, I'm gonna vanish.
Give me your stealth check, so we can see whether or not it's going to be able to find you. Farida, it is your. Well, anything else from Desmond?
No. It just said it's a bonus action. I was looking for the stats on it and said starting at 14th level, you use the hide action as a bonus action on your turn. Also, you can't be tracked by non-magical means unless you choose to leave a trail.
No, it's just.
I was just hoping that it was just like, no, we're gone.
No, it is stealth. It's just
16.
Okay, perfect. Keep making note of the fact that your stealth is 16. Farida, it is your turn.
Okay. Before I do anything, you said this is in the middle of a ritual circle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can I make some sort of check to see what it's trying to do?
You can. You can give me Arcana or Religion.
One of those I'm better at than the other, except I'm rolling so bad tonight. It's an 11.
She's doing something magic-y. That will not take your action, for the record.
Okay.
Something's happening. The runes are glowing. She's chanting. Something's happening. The Shadarkai are paralyzed. Yeah. But the nature of it is eluding you.
At this point, do I know if Marmadark is flammable? I mean, he was there in the cave. It was there in the cave with the skirids. Did he catch on fire?
I mean, Marmadark's not flammable as far as I know.
You can say
Which
that about
one
a lot
is
of things.
inflammable again?
Marmadark hurt flammable flames too.
What flammable means inflammable? Oh man.
Right.
I don't want to set the puppy on fire.
To be fair,
I
he's
don't
a-
want to set the puppy on fire. Sorry.
I mean, to be clear, he's a spectral summon puppy. So whatever.
Yeah.
Let your freak flag fly, Farida.
It's so close to Zuni though. She wouldn't set Zuni on fire, even though actually no, Zuni would like it.
Yeah,
Zuni
right.
be
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah, Zuni be like, do it. Yeah, right.
Do it.
Bealoff looks over to you and says, "The owls are not what they seem."
Help not bid that. Okay. I'm just gonna cast Eldritch Blast.
Okay, roll it.
Okay, so that one is a 19.
Yeah, you passed your fear, so you're rolling straight at 19 is a hit enough to hit.
Okay, so that's then 2. There's a better one, a 31, and then the last one is a 23. Okay, so
all hits.
That's 4. So 11, 10, 6, and a 5. So crackly purple missiles.
It was 11, 10, 6, and 5, I heard.
6 and 9.
Okay, perfect. You
And they, because they have the Eldritch Spear, they knock it back, possibly out of the circle. I don't know how big the circle is.
Perfect. It does go sliding backwards out of the circle. Perfect. Anything else from Farida?
Repelling blast. Nope, that's it.
Perfect. We're back at the top. Tatiana, give me another charisma save. Oh, sorry, not charisma. Wisdom save.
21.
You will get free, but you'll get free at the end of your turn. So you basically still don't get to do anything, but you will get loose.
Rude.
Unfortunately, let's see, who's she gonna do this to? Desmond, give me a wisdom save, and Baloth, give me a charisma save with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a spell?
No, actually, neither of these things are.
Oh man, one was a dirty 30, but I have disadvantage. So it is only a 24. I'm really good at charisma saves.
Only a 24. No.
Only
Nope, Baloth, you are fine. Desmond?
12.
Desmond, you see just as Tatiana snaps out of it, you all see Baloth stops. Or, Desmond, sorry. Desmond freezes in place. Yeah. And Tatiana starts...
Come.
Yeah. And she sees Tatiana moving. She's like, I should have saved that one for you. And she points at you, Baloth, and she says, you escaped, but barely. I'll get you.
Do I have any idea what, like, did I feel something coming over me or?
You feel, like she was trying to speak to the worst elements of you.
Oh, that's most of me.
Yep. Perfect.
Okay. Interesting.
All right. It is Tatiana again. You get loose, but it takes your whole turn to get loose. And Shaka, it is your turn.
Not even like a
Also,
bonus
you-
action? Can't even bonus action?
Nope, nothing.
Maybe
I
like a
will
little
say-
bonus action?
You will notice the circle starts glowing brighter. Like whatever it's doing more of.
Okay.
But Shaka, it's your turn.
Oh, question B, Dave.
Yes.
Did she make a save when Marmadark hit her?
What kind of save does she need to make?
I believe it is strength, or she's knocked prone.
That's okay, because then she would have gotten pushed along by the Eldritch Blast. So,
all right.
yeah.
Ooh, silly question.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone see me since I vanished? Like, does anyone see me frozen, or do they
Well-
just know that I froze?
What was your stealth check?
16.
Or Akira would know where you were. She's got a pretty high passive. Yep.
So nobody sees where I am except Akira.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So nobody knows I'm frozen.
To you?
Shaka, it's your turn.
So now that I am frightened by both the Xanathar and Okura,
Oh yeah, actually, Shaka,
Um,
the only thing you can do is flee or Kira. Actually, that's the
Yeah,
only
I was
thing
like, what
you
can I
is
do?
be like, yeah. No,
yeah,
never
I
mind.
just get farther away. I guess.
Just you,
Just,
you and the other vampires are just up there like.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's your turn, sir. For the next minute, or Kira, it is your turn.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Can I move the spiritual weapon up to Shaka?
Yeah, you can bonk Shaka.
So I'm gonna fly up to Shaka with my spiritual weapon. So you watch the ball of magma rise with me, and I look you dead in the eye, Shaka, and I say,
Shaka, sorry, really, I am.
I'm gonna attack Shaka with the spiritual weapon.
The vampires are like. Yep. All right, roll
Care not.
it.
Does a 21 hit you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so here's the good news. Because I cast this at its lowest level, it's gonna do a relatively low amount of damage. You're gonna take 10 force damage. The good news is I've attacked you. You're now broken out of my my turn, and I'm gonna say, sorry, really, and then so that was my bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at Desmond.
You are aware that he's there.
Yeah. I will fly down to where Desmond is. I gotta take a chance. No, I can't. Oh, shoot. Oh, she stands in front of Desmond and is about to curse remove. and then realizes what she can't do.
Desmond is very happily just like blinking his eyes, just like.
You know,
Is there any check I can make to figure out if there's something else I can do? I don't even know if remove curse will work.
remember when I mentioned that I'm a monster?
Yes.
Yes.
Desmond trapped in the ritual kicking in seems like an excellent time for us to stop this week, in fact. So I think that'll,
in the middle of my turn?
in the middle of Orkira's turn. Mid Orkira.
Wow.
Yes, Orkira Interruptus. There. This seems a top flight place. I would just like to say, y'all don't know how many DMs I got about various forms and flavors of counterspell, and the monster can counterspell too, and I'm all over here like, what can she do to lure out the chain counterspells? You know what I mean? So, yeah, monster's got so many spells, can't do anything with them, but I digress. Thank you all for tuning in, as always. I gotta give you, I actually missed, despite my very best efforts, I missed one of the things that was voted on. The things that were voted this week were Vordred the Wizard would appear, double spells, someone would be unlucky, they'd be cursed to speak backwards, you would encounter boggles, and get caught in an Eldritch Storm. We didn't spend enough time outside. I'll get you with that Eldritch Storm, yet I will.
Horrible was this chat, thanks.
Question: Are we still speaking backwards?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Next week, it's a new week, so I assume there's a different vote.
You know, I don't know. I'll let you know next week.
I'm running out of Twin Peaks references. I gotta say.
How about we vote?
Yeah. Oh, I already know what your vote.
cast
Your vote
vote.
will be unanimous. No. Let me tell you who won, by the way. The Idle Champions Dice Vault in Iris D6 goes to Shalrith 42. There you go, darling. Enjoy Shalrith 42. And the Shadowfell Brimstone Angels DLC, having had all three members of that DLC show up in today's thing. Honestly, normally I don't let you guys see behind the curtain. Part of the reason why Havilard didn't say anything is I can't do Havilard too. I can't do Havilard justice. So she had to whisper something in her sister's ear, you know. We'll see how this all plays out over the course of the show. However, the Willie D Billiams, I feel like I got the curse of speaking backwards. That's a great username, though.
That's a great username.
That is a great username. Wins the Shadowfell Brimstone Angels DLC pack. Once again, thank you all for helping us raise $20,000 for the International Rescue Committee and Ukrainian refugees. Again, a life-changing difference that you all made. Thank you so very much. Once again, Tatiana will arrive this week in Idle Champions. Add Tatiana to your formation.
You too can be powerful.
You can. You can literally have a bare chest. Literally. Yes. The voting begins now for Court of the Raven Queen finale on March 21st. Yes, that is right. There is 2 weeks of voting for the final episode. So you're going to get to stack it up because a lot's going to go down in the big finish. But in the meantime, thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye. B-Day Walters, where can't you find me? You can find me all over the internet, wherever fine streaming content can be located. You can find me on G4 as the host and dungeon master of Invitation to Party on G4, Twitch, YouTube, and cable TV, and all over the tweetagrams at B-Day Walters.
So you can follow me on Twitter at Erin M Evans. You can watch me on twitch.tv/CNEGames on Wednesdays at 11 for Champions of Lore with B. Dave Walters and Trevor Bettis, where we talk about the lore behind Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can see my work in Idle Champions and Forgotten Realms because I write adventures for them now. And you can also watch me on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers for Dungeon Scrawlers, an actual play show in the Forgotten Realms with a bunch of fantasy writers.
If you're looking for me, you can find me at twitch.tv/Deejay Knight primarily, because that's where I spend the vast majority of my free time playing video games.
And being a science fiction nerd. It goes reasons.
What am I up to? Playing in the Black Dice Society, playing in this lovely game that you're watching now, shortly, around, yes. And playing a lot of space and sci-fi games. No Man's Sky just dropped another major update, which is literally the thing that pulls me from whatever else I'm doing. He's like, oh, No Man's Sky, let's go. And also just, I don't know how this February became the release of all the games, but I'm playing all the things, and there's not enough time in the day to play all the things. So juggling a lot of plates, as it were.
I'm Mark Meer. You can, of course, see me here on Idle Champions Presents. So you can also catch me on the Black Dice Society every Thursday on the official Dungeons & Dragons Twitch and YouTube. You can also hear me on Stitch of Fate, a podcast by night, a Vampire the Masquerade podcast, available every Friday, pretty much wherever you find a podcast. And, of course, I'm available on Cameo for all your Mass Effect-related needs.
Yeah, so you can find me, my personal stuff at shareefjackson.com, SHAREEF Jackson.com. That has links to all my stuff, including Rivals of Waterdeep, which we just started season 12 with Latia Jakis as the DM. And you can find all that stuff at rivalsofwaterdeep.com, or just check us on the socials at Rivals of Waterdeep. All the past episodes, podcasts, clips, TikTok, all that kind of stuff is all on there. So check it out.
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. You can find more about me on my Twitter at OboLauren, and that's usually where I post all the important things about me.
You can find me on all social media as myself at DBeccaScott. You can also find my company, Good Time Society. We do all kinds of TTRPGs and different board games, especially on YouTube, youtube.com/GoodTimeSociety.